When I boot up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who boots up next to you. When I mic up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who mics up next to you. When I mess up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who messed up next to you. And when I record, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who records next to you. But I would do 500 shows and I would do 500 more just to be the man to do 1,000 shows with dudes I'd give my left nut for. Da-da-da-da. 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 There we go. But I would do 500 shows and I would do 500 more just to be the man to do 1,000 shows with dudes I have a soft spot for.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 500 of a Half Hour Wasted podcast.
I hope
500 episodes.
I hope all the recordings are working. I've got
we
3
joined the
separate
ranks
recordings right now.
just to cover yourself. We joined the ranks of the Forbes 500, Fortune 500, S&P 500, the Indy 500, and everyone's favorite film, 500 Days of Summer. And that's all I could come up with for 500.
That's good.
Yeah. 500, boys. More than 10 years.
Unbelievable. 13 years, kids.
Yeah,
13 stinking years.
That's ridiculous. I mean, when you think about it, there's no reason, cough drop, there's no reason we should still be doing this after it's watermelon flavor, after 13 years or whatever.
Let me amend that. There's no reason we should be doing this and not making money out of it. We still have not figured out how to monetize this stupid thing. So
that is no joke there.
So that's why we're still the only ad-free podcast on the whole wide internet.
That's how we roll.
I think I'm going to go back to wearing the glasses.
We're Brad. You're looking sharp. For our audio listeners, we're also doing a video recording of this, which will live on. Where will it live?
Oh no.
You know what?
Oh, no.
I might upload it to Facebook. I might upload it. I think a long time ago we had like a Half Hour Wasted YouTube channel. Of course we do, because I think that's where that video is of me ripping up Amazing Spider-Man comic book when I was mad at Joe Quesada.
We did a video promo for something back in 2009 also, if I remember right.
Oh, we did like a Christmas video and a winter video and a Happy New Year video. Those are fun. I literally watched those again about 4 months ago.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I watched them like 4 months ago. So,
well, we would be amiss. We do need to thank our listeners, of course, because we wouldn't be doing this show without them. But Bill, I think we need to give a special thanks to Brad, who does a lot of the heavy lifting on this show. And Brad, we want to thank you very much. Brad does the scheduling and the pulling of ears to get us on Skype.
I also do the losing of very important audio files.
Oh yeah, well,
it's happened once or twice. Like I said, the math works out pretty good. I mean, we're only losing like 1 out of every 135 episodes.
Yeah,
pretty good. Pretty good, man.
I suppose that's.
I don't think NASA could has that type of hit rate. So
we've lost 3 episodes that I know of since 2007.
How many did we record with the great Callum Reevey? Didn't we record 2 episodes that day?
We recorded 2.
Okay, that may count as 2 then.
I think we recorded 2 that day, and then we just lost some a couple of weeks ago.
We lost one of the last episodes we did, and then didn't we? We lost an Ethan Van Sciver show, didn't we?
That's the name. It was in the back of my head.
Yeah.
I could not remember that. Yeah, it was an Ethan. It was very early on. We had gotten Ethan Van Sciver, and the recording went well. But when we went to the recording, the machine that was recording it, it just wasn't there.
He was kind enough to come back because there's a 2-part Ethan Van Sciver episode in the archives.
Indeed. So all those who don't care about politics and like Ethan Van Sciver's art, go listen to it. In fact, I just finished reading Grant Morrison's new X-Men run and had forgotten that Ethan Van Sciver was a fairly considerable part of that. And I'm actually looking up on my wall, and I've got my signed copy of Flash Rebirth issue Uno. Issue 500, issue 1.
Yeah, he's been
totally different.
He's kind of been. He's turned into a controversial figure in the comic book community.
That's a good way to say it.
But having said that out loud, man, nobody can draw Sinestro like him. I'm telling you right now. I love his Green Lantern stuff. I just adore it.
Oh, I have always loved his art, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and separate. Whether I agree or disagree with many or any of his points, I'm going to separate any opinions I might have away from what he does in comic books. And I'm going to say thank you, Ethan, for drawing beautiful comics.
Hey, why don't we just jump right into pulling, calling somebody in, one of the listeners, and then
let's do it.
In between, we can reminisce a little more. Let's see, this guy right here. Hopefully he's gonna join us real soon. I'm calling.
Who is this? Who's gonna show up?
This is Brian Frederick.
What?
Oh, look at that. Okay. First rule of video is you do not put a bright light source behind your face. Come on, Smith. Come on. There you go. You can do this.
Beautiful.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
No, that's perfect.
No worries, Brian. Thank you for joining us so much.
Absolutely. Guys, I think I started listening 8 years ago.
Wow.
So back in 2012, and I've been a huge fan. I've never missed an episode since. And I even went back and listened to your earlier catalog, all the stuff that I could listen to. Nice. And you have been there for me, like you would not believe, like cleaning the house and stuff like that. You've gotten me through like so many chores and so many drives through different states, and you guys are just incredible. I want to thank you so much for 500 episodes.
Well, that's
wow.
Those are kind words, man. I know you've been a long time listener. I remember the name Brian Frederick. Pardon me. I don't think we've ever seen your face until now.
Oh God. Okay, when you did episode 400, I was like pacing around my house, and I was like, am I gonna call these guys? And I was like, no, because I'm gonna say something stupid, and I'm gonna look like an idiot in front of these guys, and I adore these guys. I think you guys are amazing, and so I didn't, and I was not gonna let this chance pass me by without telling you guys how much you mean to me. So
that is amazing, because we're such idiots.
I know. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand the appeal. In fact, I'm a little embarrassed, so I got to put these back on. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Bill has turned me on to like so many different TV shows. I watched the Aquabats because of you. And,
nice. Oh yeah.
And you guys have talked about so many amazing comic book runs that I've had to go through and read some of the comics that you guys talk about. But seriously, it's kind of weird for me because I do a podcast and I've got my listeners that are like dedicated fans, but now I feel like I'm geeking out over you guys, and I feel like I'm on the other side of that fence, and it's pretty wild.
Brian, you got to plug it. So tell us what's your show.
Tell us what the name of your show is and what it's about.
It's called Pop Culture Leftovers, and I've done it. You guys helped really inspire it, and I've been doing it for it'll be 7.5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's me and close friends and people that listeners, and they come on and we talk about movies and TV and comic book movies. We recently got to interview Joe Alves, the the guy who created the shark, Bruce, for Jaws.
Really?
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I've been able to interview some really cool people. Daniel Wu.
Brad, what's going
I
on?
was trying to get my guitar so I could go.
Yeah.
In a shocking development, something has gone wrong on Half Hour Wasted.
Yeah, the dumb, the Jaws, and then I knocked over. So
Now the light behind me doesn't seem so bad, does it?
now you don't feel so stupid, do you?
Hey,
Sorry.
Brian, so tell us a little bit about where you're at and what do you do for a living and how you handling COVID?
I mean, now we don't need your exact address, but just kind of speaking generalities.
Yeah, I live in central Illinois, so everybody's like, do you live in Chicago? No, I live in central Illinois, so it's basically like the center of Illinois. And I work for a lawn company, and I spray lawns all day. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You
And
do have
so-
a glowing tan going on there.
just on the face and arms. Everything else is just like white as could be.
Take your shirt off next couple of weeks, and you'll be
No.
golden.
Yeah.
They're setting you up. This is a trap, and we launched the Skype call about 30 minutes ago, and I was just getting out of the shower, and they were not happy with me. So just watch out, okay, Brian? Just they may seem like they want you to do it, but they don't want you to do it.
I'm into movies and stuff. They finally reopened theaters here, and that's been interesting.
Well, what have you seen, or have you seen anything?
I've seen New Mutants, and I went and saw Bill and Ted in the theater.
Nice.
And
Good.
I've seen Tenet twice now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me ask you real quick. Do you need to see it a third time?
you do.
Yeah. Okay. I took the younglings, and we went and saw Tenet yesterday, and we spent the rest of the evening trying to figure out what the heck happened.
Yes,
So-
it's one of those movies where you watch it, and then I immediately had to kind of like try to process it and then purge everything about that movie out of my brain. And then I went to the Wikipedia page and read about it, and then I went back to the movies to even try to understand it further, because there's a lot to unpack in that
So
movie.
Brian, I'm too chicken to go to the theaters just yet, but I'm super excited about Tenet. So I've watched like maybe 10 theory videos on YouTube. So without seeing the movie, I kind of know spoilers and everything. My gosh, I want to see it so badly. It looks just amazing, and it sounds just so flippy dippy. I'm a little jealous because of you and Bill having to go see it, because I want to. I'm just not comfortable yet.
Absolutely. I still would not. They say you can take your mask off and eat.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, nope, keeping it on the entire time, not taking
Yeah.
it off. And I bought popcorn, but I bought it so I could eat it at home.
Would you have them put like a saran wrap over the top of it or whatever?
They've got this place, it's the local theater here, and it's Bruce Campbell's favorite theater in the country. He loves it. And I saw him do a Q&A after a movie here, and he is just hysterical in person. He's the same person in person that he is like in the movies. But it's his favorite theater. They do this artisan popcorn where they make popcorn, and I got chocolate blueberry popcorn the last time I went.
Say that again?
And chocolate blueberry popcorn.
Dude.
Oh, Brad, I'm telling you.
I want that so badly. Brad, come on. It's blueberries and it's chocolate.
So
Brad has.
Sorry.
Let's say Brad has eccentricities. I give it a shot. We've got artisanal popcorn shops down here. You can get the rainbow or the whatever's. You can get the,
I have decided that popcorn is not worth my time unless it's covered in caramel.
Mhm.
The only way I'm going to sit there and pull popcorn out of my teeth for the next 3 days is if I
Right.
ate it while it was covered in caramel.
right, yeah.
I love the way popcorn tastes, but it's labor intensive to enjoy, and with only with the caramel would it be worth it for me.
Brad, it's funny you mentioned the whole kernels thing because I had popcorn maybe about a week ago, knowing full well that I was going to have to experience that. So like I spent 10 minutes with my water pick after I before going to bed, getting all that stuff up. But like 2 days later, I'm flossing and just like, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not worth it for me.
Well, it's worse for me because I've gotten to where when I'll go and get some popcorn, yeah, I want the butter on it, but I also ask them for broccoli crown florets. And so, that gets in your teeth too. And so you've got the kernels, you got the broccoli, and just you can't really afford to smile. And it's a good thing I'm single now because I wouldn't impress any girls with it.
Brian, was it you that told me that you were new to Skype and you downloaded it just to do this, or was that somebody else?
No, I've used Skype many times.
Okay, I didn't think so. After you're talking about your podcast, one of our guests tonight downloaded Skype just so they could talk to us. He goes, "I've never used Skype." Yeah, I forget who it was, so I'll probably ask each person. Was that
what episode I've been dying to listen to that we'll never hear is who is the Australian listener that came to visit you guys?
We're gonna call him later.
Funny you should ask.
So when you listen to this, his name is Callum Reevy.
Callum Reevy.
Great Callum Reevy.
When you watch this video later, either on Facebook or YouTube, you'll be able to see his cherub-like face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It broke my heart when those recordings.
You're not the guy
missing.
You weren't the gatekeeper, caretaker, keymaster of those audio files. How do you think I felt?
I know. And when you guys needed a new mixer, I donated what little I could.
Oh, very kind.
Yeah.
Very kind. Thank you very much. My purple pen is leaking all over my hand. That's great. Thank
Brian,
you.
that is so generous.
Bill just sent you a heart.
He did. Yeah,
I'll send a heart too. There we go.
I totally meant it too.
All right. Hey, thank you for showing us your face. We're going to let you go because we actually have a handful of people we need to get to.
Awesome. I can't wait to listen to the rest, watch the video. Is it going to be on Facebook? Is it going to be...
Facebook and or YouTube. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll post about it on our Facebook page.
Again, happy 500th episode. And
Thanks,
don't
Brian.
go away. Don't ever go away permanently. I mean, I'm always got you subscribed. So
thank you,
Brian. That means
Love
a
it.
lot.
We were actually
right?
we were actually considering this being our last episode, but because you said what you said, we'll keep making them.
thank you.
And Brian, one more time, Pop Culture Leftovers.
Pop Culture Leftovers, yes.
Thanks,
Check it out,
Brian.
people.
Beautiful.
Thank you guys.
Big
Thank you
hug.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you. All right, that's awesome.
Wow.
He was a Superfly guy.
Brian Frederick, he's been listening to us for a long time. That's really
crazy?
cool.
I'm actually getting a little.
That's really nice.
Emotional.
That's really nice. Very kind. What time is it? Okay.
Gosh darn it.
I'm not a huge fan of emotions, but I know what you mean. I was kind of feeling a little bit. I had some weird fuzzy feelings in my frontal cortex or something.
I don't know why people listen to this dumb show.
Is it those emotions, gentlemen?
Oh, goodness gracious! That honestly just kind of blew me away. If the whole 2 hours is going to be like this, I may be a wreck.
Well, and
I'm real surprised. And he actually seems sincere, which is the weird part.
Yeah. Well, and
It's
what's
the weird
crazy
part.
is that he's wasted minimum 250 hours of his life on this thing.
Yeah, that's
He
crazy.
won't get those back.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this may be a lightly guarded secret here, but a lot of our shows were more than 30 minutes. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
What's y'all's favorite memory from doing this?
Oh,
I mean, it's hard to pick because I can't pick just one. I mean,
okay,
if I had to pick one, it would be the show where Sage was peeing in the pool, and we thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Other than probably you guys asking me to be a part of it in the first place is probably my favorite memory, because I still remember being there at Prime Media and you guys going, "Hey, we want you to do something for us."
And can we use your house?
I believe I said yes, and yes, we can use the house too. That was a couple of years later. So.
You were grandfathered in.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get the dynamic here. I trust me, I know.
Wouldn't trade you being on the show for anything, Bill.
I love you guys, and I'm trying to think of a memory that I prize. And I'm sure there are some that are on that same level, but the episode 300, going with Dennis, getting just crazy amounts of barbecue. I use that barbecue sauce for probably the next year, and
does it last that long?
I think if you leave it sealed, yeah. You leave it, you leave the cap on. You make sure the cap hasn't popped. I showed Sage that just about a month or two ago. It's like, hey, look at this. See how the little indentation is down right now? See how it's tick, tick, it's tight, and then you kind of open it and it goes pop, and then the little thing is up, and you close it, and then you can go tick 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 on the top of it. That's a good story.
Hey, Mike Schwartz.
Go ahead.
Mike Schwartz changed his Twitter handle. It used to be called Oceanverse. Now it's Mike Schwartz Art. Anyway, he says, I can't make it to the recording, but I wish you fellas all the best. Even Bill.
Well, you know what? I'll try to earn it.
You know, Brad, I think one of my favorite episodes was the Dr. Pepper versus generic soda.
That was great. I listened
episode.
to that. I listened to that about 2 months ago, in fact.
Isn't that episode 90?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's
It's
a few of
about
those
90.
just lodged into my brain pan
Yeah.
for some crazy reason.
I've slowly gone back and been adding our old episodes to the web page, and I think
Awesome.
I think I'm down, like going backwards. I'm at
Yeah.
13, maybe 10. I've
Holy
got
cow.
less than 15 episodes to add to the website before the whole library is there.
And you guys were actually doing 30-minute shows back then.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for a while, we were doing 2 a week. We were doing
Yeah.
a Monday and a Thursday release.
Yeah.
We did that for a couple of months, and then somehow we went to a week afterwards. But, that was us still trying to find our footing and stuff like that.
I'm going to add somebody to the call now.
Great. All right,
nervous.
let's be a surprise.
Let's
Let's see
It's
if
gonna be.
he.
It's gonna be.
Let's
Oh,
see
I
if
don't
he
recognize
answers.
that username.
Let's see if he answers. His
Come on, 42806 FE4491A94F1.
Hello?
Mark.
Hello.
Mark.
Yes.
Hey, turn on your camera.
I'm getting there. Give me 1 second.
All right.
This is better.
Mark, that's some really filth down
There he
there.
is. There he is.
Hey!
Oh, wait a second.
Sorry
I
about
forgot.
that.
I gotta put my special pillow up for Mark.
Oh.
Pillow. Was that the one he was sitting on earlier? One of the
That team that hasn't won a playoff game since the 90s?
Oh wow!
Dang, Brad missed that. Say it again, Brian.
There we
Or say it
go.
again.
That team that hasn't won a playoff game since the 90s?
That's inaccurate. Hey, how do you say your last name for once and for all?
Allgaier.
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 Allgaier, yeah.
Allgaier.
I've heard every variation of it
Sure.
you could possibly think of. You're not going to offend me.
Same with
Doesn't
my last
McDonald
name,
like
man.
that?
My last name is Allgaier. All.
You guys aren't bad for Cowboys fans.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, they
Congrats on episode 500.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, you're in Philly, right?
This is a good time. for me to get my fantasy
About half an hour out of Philly in a place called Westchester. But I grew up in Reading, so I actually I shopped at Golden Eagle.
Oh, my gosh.
I know most of the Comic Geek Speak guys. I mean, they have no idea who I am because
Sure.
they're older than I am, but I shopped with them, and I actually found your podcast because they released it once. I forget what episode they released.
Yeah, I
It was
remember.
episode 50.
They
Yeah,
they
and-
did a special spotlight episode of us.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
That's
I
crazy.
downloaded it, and I just thought it was a cool name for a podcast, and I listened to it, and then I went back and I've listened to every single episode since then.
Thanks, man. That's very kind. I don't understand that, but at all. But that's awesome.
We're just gonna have.
No,
to
you're one of my favorite podcasts. The way I describe it to anyone who's into comics and Star Wars and stuff, it's like you're sitting there with your friends. Like, I'm obviously not part of the conversation because it's a podcast, but it's like I'm sitting in the back listening to my buddies talk about the stuff I love.
Very kind.
Well,
Mark, that's
the
so
hope.
kind.
You know what?
I know. So
That
I know,
calls
one
for a
day-
beer. I'll be right back.
I know and Frank, I want to thank you specifically. A long time ago, I wrote an email in saying that I was going through some stuff and the podcast was helping. And you wrote this incredibly sweet email that I saved to this day about, everything will get better. One day you'll be smiling. And I just want to say thank you specifically to you for writing that email to me. It did mean a lot.
Hey,
Oh.
sir, my pleasure. I'm glad I could help you out. You look like a very happy individual, and
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Cheers,
good.
Mark.
Let's thank you, Mark, so much for that. Well, so tell us a little bit about yourself. So, what do you do for a living, or how are you handling COVID? All that good stuff.
I am essential. I work for the electric company.
Gotcha.
So my specific job is, if you're in the Philadelphia area and you're going to convert to solar, I actually design and schedule any upgrades to the system, to the electrical grid that needs to be done so you can generate onto the electrical grid. So
Wow.
I'm learning, because I've only been doing this specific job for the company for 3 years, and it's learning everything you can learn about electricity is a lot. And I just started doing some what my coworkers have called big boy jobs. I just got one. I just got one finished last week, and on Tuesday, I actually go to the job site, and they're going to do. It's called a witness test. I have to go with the electrical engineer, and we're actually going to watch them turn on the system to make sure it doesn't do anything to the electrical grid. So that's my first time doing that.
So
it's,
you are definitely essential, my friend.
I know, I took a vacation a couple months ago. I went to the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and it happened to be the same week as the hurricane with the I that I can't pronounce. And I ended up having to work. But I took all my laptop and stuff with me and ran my storm roll, which is different than my regular roll, from the beach. Which I'm assuming my boss doesn't listen to this. I don't know if he knows that or not.
Mark,
You got the job done. That's what
Mark,
matters.
nobody
everything
listens to
got
this. Nobody listens to this, Mark. Hey, Bill, by the way, don't worry. I'll blur out the Super Bowl Eagles Super Bowl shirt when I put up the video.
Look at that.
There's Super Bowl stuff behind me.
Yeah,
too.
I know. I'll blur it all out. We might not
just 'cause
see
my
your
team
face
can-
for half of it.
Just because my team can win a playoff game, not to get upset.
Hey, I was Googling the Dallas Cowboys schedule the other day, and
Yeah.
it came up and said Dallas Cowboys first in NFC, and I went, why are they saying first already? So I went, I wonder what the Eagles says. It says third in NFC East, and I'm like, they suck so bad. They're already third. The season hasn't even started yet. Third
Well,
in
they
the NFC
made the
East.
made the playoffs last year with the practice squad wide receivers. So
Hey, tell me that Miles Sanders is going to be a Bella Cow this year.
he's going to be great,
Nice.
and if he's healthy. From the way they did the 53-man roster, it looks like he's going to play, but everyone's hurt. The only problem is going to be we lost two of our starting offensive linemen for the year.
Yeah.
We lost the left tackle and the right guard, so that's going to be a problem.
It's a very Philly thing, isn't it, to
It
lose most of your offensive line in preseason?
It is. It's. I don't know what's going on with this. Since Doug Peterson took over, we get hurt constantly. It's absolutely fascinating.
I'm no Eagles fan, but it seems like I've had Eagles running backs on my fantasy teams pretty much every year, and I can't explain that. It's a triumph of analytics over heart, I guess.
Yeah, if you're a points per catch league, it makes sense because they run a lot of screens. And I know I don't do fantasy football anymore because the last year I was in, this is how long ago it was. To get into the playoffs, I had to beat who was my boss at the time, and he had Donovan McNabb and Brian Westbrook.
Oh no!
And I believe it was a Cowboys game. I had to sit there and be like, I want the Eagles to win, but I also want Terrell Buckhalter to score all the touchdowns.
Right.
There you go. That's
Hey,
that's the dark side of fantasy football there.
It is. That's why I no longer do fantasy football. I just want to watch the Eagles beat the Cowboys and be happy.
Hey,
Man,
Mark,
All I know
what
is
do
that
you
a couple
think-
of years ago, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl twice before the Super Bowl ever got here. So that made my year.
Hey, Mark. So, what do you think? How do you think the NFL season's going to play out this year?
Are they gonna have fans in the stands, Mark?
No, at least not in Philadelphia. We're not, at least this year.
I think Jerry
I don't know
was
how
a
they
Bill telling me Jerry. Did Jerry say that he might let some fans in the park?
Jerry wants.
That's what I heard.
Jerry has.
Jerry wants fans.
Yeah, Jerry has said that because the Death Star is like the biggest physical structure open right now. Now, I don't know if the LA or the Vegas facilities may challenge it, but it's enormous inside. I mean, you can not on our base, but you can set the Statue of Liberty. You could set it at the 50-yard line at the Star, and it would not scrape the ceiling. It's that tall. But he says that because of the way the airflow is designed, that it can be safe. And it's like, okay. I see an owner saying something like that, and it's up to the customer to believe it or not. So yeah,
He needs to get those concession dollars. That's what he's after. He's
definitely.
I know
$20
the Eagles are selling cutouts for the stands. I don't know if that's going to charity or not.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
I know a lot of baseball teams did it, like the Phillies did it, and all the money went to charity.
Rangers did
I
it.
don't know.
There
I don't
was
know if
a-
the Eagles' money's.
There was a cutout of Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's in the in one
Yeah,
of the,
I saw that.
He
It
was
was
like
great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
he just sitting there like that. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was great. I saw that.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just texting somebody. Is that still Sage? Is that still Sage talking in the background?
I mean, I've got my earbud things on, so maybe you're hearing it in the
So,
background.
how old is Sage now?
Sage is going to be 14 in December.
Mark-
so he's
Mark,
been a teenager.
The
The
Open
2-year-old
that I
would be
played-
cool.
the Open.
Is-
How is that? Was he 2 in that Open, Bill? When he's like,
I think so. Yeah, I think
"Yeah,
so.
here you hote." That's just it kills me. And then so we were setting up earlier. We were sitting up earlier, Mark, and I heard this adult male voice. I was like, "Which one of you guys has the neighbor over from next door?" And,
Right.
And Bill's like, "No, that's Sage talking. Actually, it's crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah, my one of my good buddy's daughter, I met her when she was like 4 the first time, and she's going into 11th grade now, and I was like, I just feel old.
Well, isn't it amazing? Just like
Zoe's driving.
Zoe's in college.
Zoe had not started elementary school. She had not started kindergarten when we first started doing the podcast. She's now a freshman at OU. So
Oh, jeez.
you know. And if you want to feel extra old, Macaulay Culkin is now 40. So, it doesn't get any better.
And some
Well,
of
me and
those,
Macaulay are the same age. I turned 40 in November.
Oh, man, congratulations. What's it like?
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember
I don't know.
40.
I got arthritis. I'm falling apart at 40. So
I remember
Yep,
40.
that's when it starts happening, buddy. It's it just happened.
I was physically fine until I hit 50, and then, other than my eyes, but when I hit 50, it was like it couldn't have been any more stereotypical. As soon as I hit 50, it was like that next week, everything started hurting. It's ridiculous.
yeah, I'll never forget. I went to see the orthopedic surgeon. She felt my knees. And I went, your knees shouldn't feel like that.
Oh, God.
I was like, okay. And she goes, you should probably never run again. And I went, not a problem.
Does it make noise?
Don't worry about that.
Does your
Weird.
does your knee make noise like?
Oh yeah, it grinds and cracks and yeah.
So there goes your ultra marathon career then.
Yeah, no marathons in my future.
I'm
It's
with you. Right there with you. I don't even like running.
Well, Mark, how have you been spending any time you have off since the whole Corona thing has happened? Like, we can't go to movies and stuff like that. How
Yeah.
are you entertaining yourself these days?
I've been catching up on shows I've meant to binge and just never got around to, like The Office and Parks and Rec and Good Place. Like shows.
All
that I
three
end
of
up
those
loving.
are excellent choices.
Yeah.
But like they're all shows I always meant, but like there's so many episodes, like I don't have time.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't. Then all of a sudden I couldn't go anywhere.
How
I was
far?
like, I guess I'm just gonna sit down and watch all of these.
How far into The Office are you?
I finished The Office last month.
There's a podcast called Office Ladies, where the girl who plays
Okay.
Pam and the girl who plays Angela, who are best friends in real life, they do an episode a week on their podcast. They review an entire episode of The Office. They talk about it. They have guests on from part of the cast or maybe part of the crew. It's really awesome. I always wanted to rewatch The Office, but it was such a commitment. It's like 7 years, right? So I thought, well, with this podcast, they release one a week. I can watch one episode of The Office a week and then listen to their podcast. So it's really fun. It's a really fun podcast.
Yeah, that's how I rewatched The West Wing because of Josh Molina's podcast, The West Wing Week.
Huh.
So it was once a week, and I would just rewatch it, and then he would review it with his co-host.
I've never seen The West Wing, but I do like Bradley Whitford a lot.
It's a great show.
I've seen
we
some
were talking
clips.
about Bradley. We were talking about Bradley Whitford just like a couple of weeks ago, Brad. I forgot what the context was, but he came up for some reason.
Yeah, I do remember that. We had talked about that show, The Good Guys.
Yeah, he had done a short-lived cop show here in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I had seen him at the Sixth Floor Museum.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he was in that movie, Cabin in the Woods, which was so great.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mark,
Is there
I'm so glad. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, is there any other shows you recommend on the level of Good Place,
Well, The Office,
Parks and Rec?
Oh,
The
I've got
Office,
one.
and Parks and Rec, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are my 3 favorite sitcoms of all time.
Okay, I've heard good things about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
If you're not watching it, I think we're still a couple episodes behind, but we just got the finale of season 2. So you got about 25 episodes to watch. Go watch Tacoma FD.
Okay.
What is
Dang
that?
Go find it on True TV. Go find it your True TV outlet of choice.
What's it about?
It's hijinks. It's shenanigans and hijinks that happen at a fire station.
Okay.
If you want a little more, I mean,
Is
they
it
promised-
animated or is it live
Look,
action?
I promised I would keep it short, but you're just drawing me out. So it's cool. I can talk. That's all right.
Animated or live action?
No, it's live action. It's created by Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy. For anybody who doesn't recognize those names, that is 2/5, 40% of the Broken Lizard comedy troupe. They were responsible
Okay.
for movies like Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right
and,
meow.
Okay.
Fest and Club Dread. And
I'm going to Google it right meow.
No, man. Tacoma FD is amazing.
I wrote it down.
It's my favorite comedy on TV.
I wrote it down.
By a
I'll
mile.
look at it. I'll look
Yes.
at
Yeah, and like I said,
for-
it's a good-hearted comedy, and it's not mean-spirited. You can watch it without feeling like you need to take a shower or you need to go donate to a charity or something like that at the end of it.
Hey.
So it's nice.
it. Want me to blow your mind?
Who, mine?
Yeah, or all three of you guys.
Okay, sure.
I'm looking up the name of the show so I can get it right. Okay, on Netflix. I suppose it's a reality / documentary show. It's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
Okay.
Zac Efron is that incredibly handsome young man in the High School Musical movies.
He is shockingly handsome. There's
Oh,
no doubt about
yeah.
that.
I mean,
I know.
he's incredible. But he does this show called Down to Earth. It's on Netflix. They're like hour-long shows. I think the first season has 8 or 10 episodes. My daughter Ashley turned me on to it. He goes to different countries, and he and a buddy of his, they travel together. He's like a health guru, this one guy that he travels with. And Zac Efron's no health slouch either. I mean, if you've seen him in that show Neighbors with no shirt on, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go to different countries and they see how those countries deal with different things, and the way they do different things that seem so different than what we do in America. It is. I'm super surprised that I like the show because it's Zac Efron. You know, I don't like. I can just look at him and get mad because I don't look like that. But this show, Zac Efron, it's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron. I want to move to Costa Rica and live there after I watched the episode where he went to Costa Rica. It's really worth your time watching just to get away from, you know, like, yeah, we all like to pretend, but if you want to see a new take on kind of like reality in the real world and how people do different things in other countries, it's well worth your time. I highly recommend it.
Is it better than Terry Bradshaw's new reality show?
Yes. Yes, it is.
There you go.
Yes, it is. Hey, Mark, we got a list of folks to call, so we should probably say goodbye to you. Thank you for listening to us for so long.
And
thanks for calling.
Let's give Mark some hearts.
Yeah,
Yay.
Mark, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for listening. You're a great guy. Never forget that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for calling. Go Birds.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't
know how to do a heart, so
I will not hold your fandom. I will not hold it against you.
All right, guys.
I got one
Thanks
more
for
show
calling.
for you.
Thanks.
Go watch Decker Unclassified.
Decker.
Okay.
It's a deep cut.
Okay. Bye, Mark.
Bye.
Thanks. Nice
Oh,
guy.
awesome.
Nice guy.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Yeah. Nice to see faces of people that we've known for a long time.
Guys,
It's kinda weird,
in all
isn't
seriousness, this is making me a little emotional in a good way. It's just I am a little taken aback by these first two calls. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to handle it.
You can handle it. You're a big boy. You're a big
Yeah.
boy.
Allegedly.
Have you guys watched The Boys on Amazon Prime?
I don't want to watch that. The last thing I need is just that much kind of badness in my life, so I'm out.
It's that is a show. If that show's not the number one show right now that you feel like you need to take a shower after watching, I don't know what is.
Especially after episode 3 of season 2.
Oh, geez. Okay. See, I've watched through the end of season 1. I have not started season 2 yet, and I know that Amazon put out the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
They dropped them all, just boom, 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 boom.
Just say, I will never look at a whale the same way again.
Oh, okay. I saw the promos, so I have some idea of what we're in for. Jeez. Yeah. Whoa,
What else have I been
man.
watching? Actually, other than Zac Efron's show and the The Boys, that stupid allergy cough is coming back, and I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
I've really been curtailing my television watching. So I've mostly just been playing a few video games and watching a lot of YouTube videos. Just like I've gotten into gardening videos and woodworking videos. Brad, you and I are fans of those videos where they restore stuff without talking about it. We've watched a few of them in the past together. I forget their names, but they usually run around 20-30 minutes. They will show like a piece of rusted equipment, and then they will just totally restore it, but they never say what they're doing. They just do it.
Imagine
it is so relaxing.
Imagine somebody finds this buried in layers of dirt and rust, and it's been there for like 40 years.
Like
and
that,
it
Leatherman.
Yeah, and it won't do this. None of these knife blades will come out.
Oh.
They take the whole thing and they turn it in from garbage into what looks like it's brand new. It's really relaxing, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, and
it's like
it inspires
it's just
you.
What's the secret? Do they use CLR or?
I mean, they first of all they take it completely apart. Then they will soak it in CLR, or sometimes they'll sandblast it. The sandblasting is the best because
nice.
they'll kind of go back and forth, and you just see it cleaning off, and there's something just so satisfying.
Think of when you would like go internet it, you'd like pull B-roll of something and you don't hear anybody talking, but you just hear gnat sound. This video is just nothing but gnat sound of them polishing or using a grinder or a saw or something, just electrical sounds and just thump 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 and all this kind of stuff. It's really neat to watch it go from garbage to something brand new, and they'll repaint it and they'll painstakingly put all the proper paint back in the right places. It's pretty amazing.
And it makes you feel like I can totally do that. And the other thing I like about these videos, these restorative videos, is that it really kind of shows you that not everything is trash. Like, you will see something and we would all go, what, that's all rusted. That can't be used for anything. It's destroyed. This guy proves you wrong. It's just like with a little bit of effort and time, it can be brand spanking new. And we're talking toys, tools, sometimes things are made out of wood, just the gamut, and it is amazing. Brad, you got someone coming?
I'm calling someone.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Mystery guest number 3.
Are you good like this?
Hey!
I
Can you hear me?
Is that
Hang
one
on.
of the Milo brothers?
Do you want it like this?
No.
Huh?
No. Turn it the other way, buddy. Turn it the other way.
Wow.
Can you go somewhere where it's quiet? Can you go somewhere where it's quiet?
Yes.
Okay.
Who are you?
What's up?
Go somewhere
Kevin,
where it's
how are
quiet.
you?
I'm right here where it's super quiet.
Okay, well,
I'm right here by a wall.
Frank and Bill, you cannot hear Frank and Bill.
It's a good live sync.
In your face. I can say anything I want.
This isn't working out at all.
I
Brad,
got
tell
something.
Kevin he's cool.
I got some banners up to celebrate your 500th. There's some banners. What? And guess what else? I got some people here to celebrate for y'all. So everybody join me. Happy Albert Wasted! Woo!
What is going on here?
Thanks, man. Thank you. Frank and Bill say thank you very much. You can't hear them right now. Wave at my brother. There they are.
I'll wait with you.
Here, say that one thing you've always wanted to say, Kevin.
Who, me?
Yeah, say that one thing you've always wanted to say.
I'm better than Frank and Bill?
That's not it.
Yes,
That's not it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was afraid it was going to be a lot worse.
I know, I'm just putting you on the spot.
Look, I'm walking upstairs.
Look, Frank's giving you a thumbs up. Oh, Bill's giving you the slow clap.
Nice. Thank you.
It's really just an acknowledgement.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry that you can't hear them because they're in my ear. Thank you.
They're always
Most
in
of
my
the time.
head when I'm sleeping. It's a nightmare.
He said they're always in your head. They're always in his
Agreed.
head, I
Thank you
mean.
so much, buddy. You are the best. That
Frank
is,
says you're the
super
best.
kind.
And you're super kind and you're the best. Okay. All right.
That's a lightsaber.
Yeah. Say goodbye, Matt, the radar technician. Who is this person?
I don't know. I don't even know where I am right now.
All right. Love you, brother.
Let's get that kind of party.
Talk to you later.
Bye, brother.
Bye.
Bye, Frank Bill. Happy 500.
Love you.
I'm sorry he couldn't hear you guys, but he just wanted to call and
Oh, my goodness.
say hello.
So who were all those people in his house?
I don't have any idea. That wasn't
Was
his
that
house.
Were those decorations really for us?
There's no way.
No.
Okay.
No, that was
I'm gonna
not
guess
his
that-
house, and they were having a party or something.
Okay.
I don't want to get into a conversation about whether they should or shouldn't have been having a party, but
Okay.
they were. So let's move on. But anyway,
Okay, gotcha.
I love him, and He likes you guys a lot. He always says every time we're recording, and he'll text me or call me or whatever, and I'll say, "Hey, I'm recording right now." He's like, "Tell Frankie Bill I said hi."
Oh, I love that.
That's sweet.
Oh.
How's he doing? Just overall, your brother.
He's doing really good. In fact, I'm going to give my brother a little plug, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
He is a really great photographer, okay? And he just started... It's like an Etsy store, but it's not Etsy at all. It's... let me see if I can find the website. He is putting his photos on items and you can buy.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So he's got a
it's-
store going.
Yeah,
And he's showing off his photography skills.
Yeah, and and it's kevin-milo.pixels.com. kevin-milyo.pixels.com. And I bought a T-shirt with a really cool photo he took, and then I also bought a coffee mug, and he's got a photo of himself riding a windmill like it's a bucking bronco. And somebody took a picture of him doing that, so I'll have a coffee mug coming my way with my brother riding a windmill. So he's always serving me coffee at work now.
So what was the URL again?
Let me find it.
Kevin.Milo
Kevin-
dash pixels.
Kevin dash
Oh.
Milo MILYO dot pixels PIXELS.com. Yeah, and
Excellent.
he's been taking photos, forever. He was a photography major, and
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's been putting photos on Instagram, and I'm like, somebody suggested, like those like those Etsy stores, you can put photos or whatever on merchandise and sell them. So anyway, he's doing that, and because of all his health issues and stuff, he's not able to hold a quote unquote regular job.
Gotcha.
So this will be a way for him to help with the income of the family. So
Good.
Anyway. and even if you don't buy something, go look at his stuff. It's really pretty.
That's freaking fantastic. I'm so jealous of people who have figured out how to make their way into this new economy of ours. And I've always been I don't think jealous is the right word because I love my sister very much, but I would not mind a bit if I had a brother that I could share stuff like that with. That'd be awesome.
Hey, I got 3 sisters and they all drive me crazy.
Oh my goodness.
They're great. I love them.
I always say that I get all the my sister is a redhead, and that actually has a lot less to do with her personality than you might think. I always say that I got all the Irish and she got all the British. She's very smart. She's very laid back, and
I don't understand.
I know it clearly gravitated towards that into the family.
What does your sister do for a living?
What's that?
What does your sister do?
She is a diagnostician in a public school setting up in the Oklahoma City area.
Gotcha.
So she kids will come in and she'll tell them what's wrong with them.
I messed up.
You're rotten.
That's one reason why I've never had you guys meet, because I didn't want you to go through that, and I mean, she can diagnose you like that. So, yeah.
Frank suffers from handsomeness.
Oh my, yes. And it turns out Brad is a rapscallion.
Rapscallion. That's a word you don't. There's a restaurant in Lower Greenville here in Dallas called Rapscallions, and every time I walk by it, I don't know if it's open anymore, but every time I walk by it, I don't know how to say the word at first. I was just like, what does that say? It's like, oh, rapscallions. It's just the way it's written. It's not a word you see all the time.
Well, in the new economy, it's probably not a real easy URL either, so they may have made a tactical error there.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I think like a lot of restaurants in that area, of course, they're closed or they're partial business, and they're just not they're struggling.
They're available
I did
for
get
takeout.
So there's a French bakery in that same area that I like to go to, and this morning I woke up early enough that I drove down there with the dog to go get one, and it's called a Queen Amman. It's a vanilla Queen Amman. It's like it's like a candy coated muffin, for lack of a better word, but that doesn't do it justice. It's very good, very flaky, very light, very crispy on the outside. But there was a line going out the door, and I just wasn't prepared to kind of wait for just a single pastry. There's people walking out with baguettes and boxes of croissants and stuff, and I just wanted this one thing, and I was just like, that's a 20-minute wait. It's not worth it.
I've done that too. That's the one place in the area that it seems like it always has a line out front is the Trader Joe's, just on the corner, and I'll drive by it, and it's like, maybe I want to go in and get some delicious meat or something, and I'll look at the line space 6 feet apart, what must be half an hour to get in there. It's like I don't need Trader Joe's dark chocolates quite that bad. Okay, I'll shut up now because we have...
Good morning!
Good morning. Ken, it's so good to see you.
How you doing, guys?
I'm doing great. How are you, buddy?
I'm fantastic. I can't get my earbuds to work, but I can still hear you. Hi.
Oh, you sound great.
Happy 500.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sending that book to Brad, that D&D book. That really made him excited.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry I didn't respond to you right away. I wasn't on Facebook that much, so.
No, I understand. I've never found it more difficult to send somebody a gift than I could get Brad that book. Just trying to track down where to send it.
What did you send him?
Brad's holding it up.
Whoa, okay.
this is the official Dungeons and Dragons source book for the world that the Critical Role guys play in. This guy Matthew Mercer created his own planet, Exandria, and campaign 2 takes place on the continent of Wildmount. And this is an actual huge source book for that world, just like it's an official world of D&D now. But so thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate that. I'm all caught up, by the way, on Critical Role too.
And you're into it, so I'm like, you know what? Brad would like this because I'm guessing you like a little bit of background. It's great background for the whole world as well as just a campaign book. Yeah. And what I don't know if you know this, for campaign 1, which I don't know if you started, you talked about it. Matt Mercer actually did write a campaign guide, but it's unofficial. It's not published by Wizards, but it's still out there, and has a lot of detail on there about other parts of that overall world. So as in tandem, you get a lot of what's going on in Matt Mercer's mind in that world.
Yeah, I've tried to find that book at a decent price, and I can't. It's very expensive nowadays.
It's hard to find. I found it on Amazon a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to another friend of the show. For all I know, you may have talked to him. Lucas King, you may remember him as the Avenger from his podcast days. Mm-hmm. I actually got turned on to Critical Role myself a couple years ago through him. My son started wanting to play, so I'm like, well, there's got to be. It's the internet. It's 2000, whatever it was at the time. There's got to be something out there. So I found Wizards did some official live play stuff to promote their current books, and I found something with Matt Mercer. And I was watching it, and I made a post on Facebook, something along the lines of, this is a lot more fun than it should be, watching other people play D&D. Yeah. And Lucas said, well, if you like that, you need to watch this. Yeah. So I actually started watching Critical Role right at the start of Campaign 2, like right at the episode 1, and then went back and watched or listened to some combination of listening to Campaign 1 just to get through it all. So I'm 100% current as of this past Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm caught up with Campaign 2. I've started listening and watching back and forth to Campaign 1. So...
So Ken, I guess I never realized you were into D&D. So what's your setup like? Is it just you and your family who play?
No. So I hadn't played in decades. Frankly, is the only unit of measurement I could think of. And when
you do have son, a head full of gray hair, by the way.
I do. It's been a minute. I mean, I have a almost 17-year-old daughter now. So for Brad, you know what that means.
Yep.
So yeah, she's.
Well, how old is Zoe now?
Zoe turned 18 in March.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
well, the hair I can
Crazy.
see of Bill is gray.
Yeah, it's mainly my beard nowadays. It's
I'm
my chin
hiding.
strap.
I'm hiding the fact that I don't have any hair left.
Right.
But what
So-
I do,
so yeah,
what I do
yeah,
have, you
definitely
can see
grayer.
is great. So, look at Frank.
I just shaved
rolling
my
his,
neck this afternoon. That was itching. I don't like that. Frank,
Frank,
is
we
flaunting
get it.
Yeah.
We get it, Frank. We get it.
God dang it.
My hair is
okay,
just so
fine.
lush.
We get it.
It is a magnificent mane. So no, I haven't played in quite a while. But my son got interested, and I was like, yeah, we'll play. I got him the starter set for Christmas that same year. Started getting a few books myself, and most recently started playing with a group. We were getting really into one of the current campaigns and playing it. I was dungeon mastering for my friends, and we tried to keep it going through pandemic, through online tools. But frankly, most of us have been working virtual or in front of a computer, and the last thing we wanted to do to relax was stay in front of a computer. So we really haven't played in a few months at this point. So we're hoping to get started again.
Yeah, I've been playing
I
with
tell you
my
what,
two.
that is a struggle about being online, because when we do the show and we record it online, it is a chore because I'm on this thing like every day.
Yeah, we'll record one episode, and Frank will go, "Ugh, we're gonna do another one." I just look at the
Do we have to?
computer all week anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, there is something about that where it's just I cannot just the second I log off, I turn off the computer and walk away and just don't want anything to do with it.
I will say the technology makes it so much easier. I mean, when I was doing the podcast with Legion of Dudes and you guys, a while back, we had Skype and we had different things. We tried to do some video stuff now and then. It was hard to do video and streaming, back then. It's just so easy now. And when I started getting the D&D, I still chat with Russ and Johnny M and them now and then. I said to Russ, like, this is awesome. This would have been perfect for HHW LOD. We could have had a live play thing going on. This would have been amazing. So it would have been nice. It would have been fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start doing some what we're calling hybrid events at the convention center, at the conference center. Part of the people will be able to attend socially distanced in the big ballroom, and then the rest of the people who can't attend will watch it on their computer or whatever. So we're having to figure out how to do that the best way and the easiest way for us. So yeah, it's going to be a different world from now on. I mean, there's so many like big computer companies. Was it Twitter that said they're just going to let everybody work from home from now on or something like that?
I know Google had something.
It's
like
crazy.
that. Yeah.
You want to talk about unintended consequences? People are going to go nuts working from home. I'm shocked at the number of people who are like, I love being able to work from home. It's like, well, there's obvious advantages to not having a commute and not having to wear pants, but dude, I guess one thing is my job doesn't really lend itself to me working from home. I can edit and do some things like that, but luckily I have to go to work to direct shows and stuff, so thank goodness for that. Because I'd go batty if it was just me here at the house.
I was by myself for 45 days, and sometimes I just wanted to jump off the second story balcony.
You should have. Could you make the pool from there?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's too far away. I could see the pool, but it's too far away. Yeah, and that's true. That's true.
Hey, Ken, so remind us, what do you do, and have you been working from home?
I have not. I've been going to work. I work on IT security, and the specific people I support can't work from home, which basically means I can't either.
Gotcha.
In our facility, we're a factory, so we have touch labor, so obviously they can't work from home. But our office folks, accounting, people like that, so maybe a third of the population has been home, and will be for the remainder of this year for sure. And we've been bringing other people home or back to work at different cases. But I've been there the whole time. My wife, who works at a college, has been home 100% since March. She is still going to be home for the most part, but she does go in 1 day a week because they do have students who are mostly virtual, but they still want at least one person in her area. She's student support, not counseling exactly, but They want one person in her office, in the office each day, and she's got 1 day a week. But for the most part, she's been working from home in the chair I'm sitting now. So I basically gave up my office. Has become her office, which fine during the workday, it's fine. I'm not here, but it's her files are surrounding me right now. Like she's really made this her space.
Yeah, so pink Post-its and just flowers and typical woman stuff, right? Doilies.
Yeah, it's not quite that far gone, but it's on the way for sure.
That's cool.
Right side, I'm getting pretty good at mixing my own drinks. That's helpful. It's been a new skill I've learned.
Fantastic.
Got an empty glass now, actually. I was about to go get one. I'm glad I didn't. I wasn't expecting to call this early, but that's okay.
I was trying to call somebody else, but I couldn't connect to him, so I thought, okay, I'll just bring Ken in a little sooner.
Yeah, no, I have not at all been sitting here for the last hour with my finger on the mouse waiting to sit. Nope, no.
Hey Ken, so what movies are you looking forward to? Have you gone to any movies yet? Because there's been some theaters opening up.
I have not. I've not gone to any movies yet. I will likely, if Black Widow, for example, is theater only, I will very likely go see that. I don't know how that's going to work out. Mulan, of course, as you know, is on Disney Plus for an extra $30 on top of your Disney Plus subscription. If you wait in December, it'll be out for everybody. I saw, and I didn't expect to go on a rant, but I saw somebody. God, it's not like Dennis Miller. I saw a guy come in with a post about don't buy Mulan for $30. You're just proving that it'll work. And they'll do that more. And I'm like, well, isn't that just what I do if I go to the theater? Is spend the $30 now and see it once? If I spend $30 now, I see it for as much as I want. What's the difference?
It affects people differently, especially if you have a family. $30 is a bargain, but for people flying solo, that's kind of outrageous just to see a movie. But
and that's on the consumer end. I'm torn on the whole thing. It costs real money, and there's real people employed. And I'm not even talking about the actors who are employed in the making of these movies. And without that box office, that movie theater experience, they're not getting there up front. They're not getting paid. There's no reason to make those movies. So as much as I personally would love a shift to direct-to-home or some close proximity of that, because I've outgrown the whole, I need the big super-duper surround XTHX, blah, blah, blah. I just want to watch the movie, and if I can pause it and go to the bathroom, that's all the better.
But see, here's the nice thing, Ken. If you do go to the movie theater, you don't have to worry about the kids getting disinterested, wandering off. Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Should we pause it? No. You don't have to worry about any of that because the movie, if somebody hits the play button, and the movie keeps playing the whole time until it's over, and it's amazing.
You're right. No. That's absolutely. But I, too, am getting of an age where 2.5 hours is a long time.
Hey, there is no way.
That's true.
There is no way I'm watching Fast 9 on this TV first before I see it on the big screen.
That's fair.
Wow.
That's fair.
Wow.
I'm talking about Black Widow or something else. You had this conversation last year or whenever it was with Endgame, then we'd have a different conversation.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the movie, but I heard these two older comedians who were complaining about movies, and they were like, what happened to the 90-minute movie? Come on, Hollywood, let's just... I just need to be entertained for a bit.
I went back and I brought my kids into some quote-unquote older movies. Like, we put the original X-Men in, and that's about 90 minutes. I'm like, it's over already? What's going on? I really didn't understand. We watched, my wife had never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is, of course, available on Disney+. Again, this is shorter than I remember. I mean, we're barely getting into Act 2 on most movies at 90 minutes. What's going on here?
Yeah, we went and saw Tenet yesterday, the kiddos and I, and my life hack for people who do want to venture to the movies is you don't want to sit in the last row of the theater necessarily, but most of the time there's going to be like that. There's kind of the lower bowl and the upper bowl kind of area, depending on the size of the theater. So sit on the back row of the front section, and that way you don't have anybody right behind you coughing on you. And that's my life hack. So use it if you will. We did exactly that for Tenet, and I was pretty happy about it because there were people in front of us, and there were people There was nobody in our row, so there were people in front of us, but there was nobody behind us breathing on us or anything like that. So
Right.
I felt pretty okay about it.
Ken,
So Tenet, that's what Christopher Nolan, and then the other one's what?
Yeah.
Falling Down 2 or something like that, right?
Bill and Ted.
Oh,
Face-
and New Mutants, which
yeah, tell us
so,
about New
speaking of
Mutants. Did you
90-minute
like New
movies-
Mutants? Did you like New Mutants, Ken?
I did not see it. I have not seen it yet. I've seen trailers, I've seen comments, and I'll be the guy who refrains comment till I see a movie. That said, based on what I've heard, I can wait.
Yeah, it feels very much like the last X-Men movie they tried to foist on us.
I
which
still
was
haven't
more
seen that one
wait.
yet, Bill.
You know what? It's on HBO Max, I think.
Still haven't seen it.
I finally sat down 2 or 3 weekends ago and just said, you know what? I'm just going to watch the opening scene and just see if I can take it. Just see if am I reaching for the stop button or not. And I ended up watching the whole thing. I had I think Zoe with me, and it was not good. I'm glad I saw it, and I'm glad that I saw it as part of something I'm already paying for. So I wouldn't say it was free because I do pay $15 a month or whatever, but it was a sunk cost. So in that token, by that token, it was pretty easy to justify the time expenditure because I didn't have to justify a money expenditure.
Yeah, I have not seen that one either, Dark Phoenix. I did eventually at some point see Apocalypse, and I remember mentioning on Facebook, I posted about that I actually quite enjoyed it, either because I waited long enough or my expectations were just that low, but it didn't seem to be as bad as the internet told me it should have been. And Russell Latham just told me I just have my expectations really, really low, which is probably true. I actually watched Aquaman again. I saw that. I watched it again last night. And like most of the recent DC movies, it had moments as a whole body of work. Not the greatest thing, but it had the key moments, like that's a comic book cover, or that's that, or whatever. Same thing from the other ones from DC.
First half of Aquaman, good. Second half of Aquaman, not good.
Oh.
Hey, explain your comment about Jim from The Office being in Aquaman.
So I put that in there as the joke that is intended.
Good hunting.
As an aside, my daughter is a big fan of The Office. She's watched it the whole thing at least 6 times through. And I said, Jim's in this. Jim from The Office. No, I didn't say John Krasinski. I said Jim's here. So Randall Park is in as Stephen Chim. If you remember, there's that one cold open.
Yeah.
Where he's there taking Jim's place as a
They're
prank on
pranking.
Dwight.
Yeah, that's the best.
Right.
I didn't realize
Like,
that
what
was
are you talking
him.
about, Jim? I'm Jim. I've been here for 12 years, Dwight. What's going on?
That's
So
funny.
I made that generic comment that it was Jim from The Office, but really it was Randall Park, who's also in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's funny.
Oh,
Thank you for
that's
explaining
funny.
that.
Sure thing. Lucas King also questioned that with an actual Jim, gif, like, huh?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm Jim. I've been here for 12 years. What is going on? Yeah, no, Randall Park, of course. So.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, did you ever finish... I still haven't seen the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Have you finished that?
Yes, I have. I watched that during each week, their first week. I don't think I day of ever, but yes.
No spoilers.
Totally satisfied, loved it, enjoyed it. Sad to see it go, but also acknowledge its time.
I watched...
Kiddo's Knives first 3 episodes, I think, and it's awesome. I love it so. I'm gonna miss it so much.
The last 2 years of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've just suffered through. It was incredibly silly to me the last couple of years of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to finish it up.
So this season I can describe as, I don't know, some kind of cross between a love letter to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to a This Is Your Life. They managed to go... I want to find that line tonight. You get to hit a lot of points throughout S.H.I.E.L.D.'s history and see a lot of favorites. They do it in such a way that it works. I felt I was satisfied with the end, and if they continued it, I think it would have been even more. It would have been dragged out because I do have a little bit of empathy for or agreement of what you're saying, Brad.
Yeah.
But I like the whole better than it actually was. It's like the opposite of. I hate to make this unfair comparison, but the DC movies where there's key moments, but as a whole, they were overall good, and there were some key moments that were kind of silly. But I enjoyed it overall.
Well, I'll watch it.
Ken, is all that still in canon? Is that part of the Marvel universe, or is it?
No.
There was
for all
a
intents and
point.
Purposes, it probably it never was.
There was a point during the kind of right after Civil War where they acknowledged it, but then it just kind of went off on its own. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it apocryphal, but it's hard to reconcile some things. Did we lose Frank? Is Frank gone again?
I think Frank's asleep.
I don't know what he's doing. I'll just say, and actually, with Frank's question, I should wait till he's for sure back on. But if Endgame introduced the idea of parallel or alternate universes, then this is one of those.
Okay.
That's probably the better way of doing it.
I think we lost Frank.
Interesting.
And I'll say this season of S.H.I.E.L.D. itself supports that, but I won't go further than that.
Weird. Yeah, there is timey-wimey stuff. Oh.
I just removed Frank. I'm gonna try calling him back.
Yeah. I totally see what you mean, Ken, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of like a roller coaster ride. You'll get a half a season that just lights me on fire. I love it so hard. And then you'll have another half a season where it starts out and then you're like, oh man, can we just please get past this storyline? Mm-hmm. And I think one thing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has done really well is they started breaking, they kind of created not a new genre, maybe a new paradigm, if it's even that new, but the idea of something that CW has copied recently, where instead of having an arc that lasts an entire season, they'll do these 6-episode, half-season type arcs, and they'll get rid of it, and they'll get rid of the idea, and they'll move on, and you'll get that a couple times a season, and it's pretty awesome.
And there was a season of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, if I remember right, the internet people hated. I loved it. They had a whole series where they built up this, LMDs who eventually took over, and then they had this whole computer simulation world.
Oh,
it was like a great big Marvel What If, and I thought this was great. What if this moment happened? How would the world play out? And that's what half of the season was. And everybody who I read or talked about who didn't like it, I don't think either didn't appreciate it at that point, or, to be blunt, never read a Marvel What If. That's the whole concept was.
Frank,
no, I thought that arc. I'm trying to remember the name of the female character who that arc was named after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
I liked that character.
Oh, I love that so much.
Ada.
Yeah,
something like that.
But yeah, that was fantastic. And then I love the Going to the Future arc, but I thought that went on about a month too long, about 3 or 4 episodes too long.
It did, but when it came all back, you're like, and that fit to that, and it was very much to me like season 1, because season 1 you didn't really wonder where they're going, but then when the Winter Soldier tie came on and everything flipped back, it's like, oh, that's where they're going. Like that turn of the one character when you found out he was Hydra all along. If you go back and watch season 1, you saw all the clues that were there from the beginning.
I've strongly considered going back and rewatching, because I remember distinctly watching the first 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes and just going, this is terrible. I had issues with Coulson seemed too flippant, and the characters just all seemed like cardboard cutout ciphers, and I just, hey, I'm Sky, and I'm
the tech one, I'm the bio one, I'm the genius,
exactly.
And that's first season character flaws.
Yes,
I think every show suffered that. Once the writers can write the characters through the actor and they can start developing those personalities, I think every show has that.
Yes.
Some more than others.
Yes.
And to be fair, S.H.I.E.L.D. probably had it more than others.
But
I think
S.H.I.E.L.D. is such a new thing that they were kind of like the original Star Trek. I mean, they were kind of making things up as they went along.
Well, they were.
How
if you want to see if you want to see the chief executive producing team, all you need to do is go look at the extras of Dr. Horrible's sing along blog. You can see them all there. They were all in that one. They were all there. It was
that Dr. Horrible was great.
Baby. But it was fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I still sing those songs in my head sometimes.
Yeah, couple of years ago, I said, I'm going to watch this again, and I'm watching it.
That's great.
And I saw Jed Weed and a few others in there. I'm like, this is what they did back during the writer's strike of, God, what was that, 06?
Yeah.
And here they are 10 years later.
There's Frank.
In S.H.I.E.L.D. Hey, Frank.
Welcome back,
Hey,
Frank.
guys, sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay.
We were just talking about how awesome you were. Well, now that you're back, say what you need to say to Ken, and then we'll let him go because we got, a handful of other people to get to.
So, Ken, you're awesome. I told Brad to tell you that in a text in case I didn't get back in time. But you're a real friend to us, and I'm glad we know you, and I'm glad you're in our life. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, everyone. It's been great. It's been enjoy listening to you off and on, but listening to you again more lately. It's been my life's been my life. But congratulations again on hitting 500.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank
I'll
you,
never
sir.
forget that time we shared a room in Philadelphia.
Oh.
I still remember me coming in, and it was so cold in there, and I turned the air off, and Brad's like, turn that back on! I need the noise on so I can sleep.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
All right.
Thanks for making time for us tonight.
No, absolutely. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you again soon.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, Ken.
Beautiful, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's
Man, that is a good dude, man.
let's take a pause. Hey, Brian Fuquay, welcome.
Yay!
Brian,
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You got to tell us where you headed. What are you doing?
You on
What's
a road
going on?
trip? What's going on?
Oh, we're just running errands and stuff. We're on our way back home.
Hi, Ms. Fuquay.
She didn't want me putting her on camera.
I saw some side eye there.
Oh boy.
Where are you? What state are you in?
No, we're in Baytown, Texas.
Where's that?
Oh,
It's Houston.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've
See
ever
the,
heard the name
see the
Baytown.
It's right next to, if you know, the San Jacinto Monument. For those Texas people listening, we're
Okay.
really close to it.
Okay.
hey, how were you guys affected by the hurricane a few weeks ago? Did that bypass you guys?
I don't think we got a single drop of rain, and we're on the
That's
east
great.
side. Yeah.
Very good.
Well, sir, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. We've been asking people a little bit about like how are they handling their COVID life? Have you been working and stuff?
Yeah, I have been working nonstop since everything started, so life hasn't changed at all. Both of us have. Pretty much no quarantine or anything. I'm not. Last time I talked to you guys, I was working in radio, and I'm not doing that right now. I'm actually in between, so I'm selling cars.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How's the car business treating you?
It's different. I'll say that. I'm on being recorded right now, so I'll say it's different.
That's always a good answer.
Hey, I tell you what,
Yeah.
if you want to say one sentence of how you really feel about it, I'll just bleep that audio out.
No, that's okay. You know what? I've always, it's kind of funny because with you guys in the Dallas area, we actually have a lot of family in Dallas. That's where I was born. So, so we're actually up there all the time. So whenever you guys mention places you go to or things you do and everything, I know exactly all those places. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned Keith's Comics. Is that place not around anymore?
Oh, well, let me see. Well, I know one location is closed. They have another location off Mockingbird, since you know the area. I drove by that today. It looked like it was open, but I didn't go by it.
Okay, the only one I've ever been to was, it might have been on Mockingbird. I can't remember. I go with my uncle, and he takes me around. When I was little, he's the guy that got me into comics and everything. And it was right next to like some sort of performing arts theater or something, and it was like a hole in the wall.
Yeah, Pocket Sandwich Theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Brian, next time you are in the Dallas area and all this COVID stuff is over, let's go grab a beer or a sandwich or something like that.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Hey, I was just gonna let you know that I've been listening to you guys since y'all began. As proof of all the times I've listened to, I remember one of your first episodes was about 300, the movie. I remember, Frank, you once you either did it or you briefly considered running for mayor of Corpus Christi.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
I remember that.
is- I did not, but I seriously considered it. I got the kit to do it and everything. And basically, my parents told me, I was still in high school at the time. My parents said, absolutely not.
I remember you guys really liked Spider-Man 3 when it first came out.
You know, it's funny. We were just talking about that, Brian, because I had just listened to that episode a few months back because I've been going back through the deal, and I could not believe how kindly we spoke about that movie.
Yeah, it was very favorable.
Now, that was before I joined the
Rose-colored
cast, right?
glasses, definitely.
And the other thing I do remember, which was exactly the opposite, was, I'll listen to a lot of podcasts, and whenever some movie comes out that I had a strong opinion about, or I'm really curious to see what they say about it, I remember when Man of Steel came out, and I was all excited for that movie, and I wanted to see what you guys said about it. And you guys had a whole group podcast. You had Amy the Girl, you had some other people and stuff.
Yeah, my buddy Kevin was there. I think
Yep,
Star was Star with us.
Star was there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was like a funeral. Like what happened? And and I remember Amy the Girl. I think she was pregnant at the time. I'm not sure, but she I loved all the other appearances she was on the show. But I remember that day she was so mad at that movie.
Yeah.
That was
And I
really
think a lot
weird
of it had to
because
do with she had some bad experiences with people around her or something. I'm not sure, but man, she hated that movie.
That's
And
funny
I was
that
so
you remember
bummed out.
that so clearly.
Yeah.
Brian, I work with Amy, and she's a great woman, but man, she can get gripey sometimes, and I could just see her saying all those things as you were stating them.
Well,
That is so funny.
She scared me when I first got to know her, and she didn't like me at all when she first met me. But yeah, she can be really scary. When she gets mad, it's like I want to leave the room right away. That's how scary she is. Yeah.
which is not good when you're on an edit session with her, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, 7 hours, 52 more minutes of this, and
Well, I think I speak for Frank and Bill when I say we appreciate your patronage and your longevity as a listener. That's really kind.
Yeah.
And I've said it to a couple other people. I don't understand it at all, but thank you.
yeah, well said.
No, you were one of the. I actually started listening to podcasts right in 2007. That's when I first started discovering them. You were one of the first ones, and it was you guys and Kevin Smith, and it kind of grew from there. I listen to a lot of shows now, but I always make sure to whenever you guys pop up, to always try to tune in and everything. And it's kind of weird. I don't know if anybody else has already mentioned this, but when you listen to podcasts, especially for so long from certain people, you feel like they're your old friends and everything, but they don't even know you at all. So it's kind of this weird one-sided thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I was that way with CGS. I listened to them for so long. I felt like I knew all of those guys. And then when I met them, I'm like, hey, weren't you as excited to see me as I am you? And then I realized, oh, you don't even know who I am. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. But it's nice to we've been putting faces with some names, some longtime names, so it's really nice to be able to do that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think I remember when you met those guys, because you went like all the way up to north, like Pennsylvania or something. Yeah. There was some big concert or something, and you were there.
Oh, there? We lost you. There you are. They had was it their episode 300, Frank, that we went up there the first time?
That sounds about right. And was it called The Big Show or the?
No, the first time we went there, it was for their episode 300. Then they did something called the Super Show.
Super Show.
Yeah, we went back for the Super
It
Show.
might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some big music concert thing or something. And I remember you were there, and I was like, "Whoa, Brad's there."
Yeah.
So it's got to be good. That's a mark of approval if there ever was one.
Yeah.
Well, so where are you guys headed? Are you guys headed home or just running errands?
Yeah, we're just headed home. We're actually close to my neighborhood and everything because my neighborhood has a really bad phone signal.
Okay.
Well, that's how you can tell. Man, I'm with you. You must have a Sprint phone because I get the same thing. I'm great until I get within about 4 blocks of my house, and it's just like, oh, did you need your phone here? Because
We aren't Sprint anymore, Bill. It's going to be T-Mobile.
oh, good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
T-Mobile.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we'll
AT&T.
Maybe we'll get some more towers or something.
You live in the boonies, I guess, huh? Small town in the boonies?
I don't think
No,
Baytown's
actually,
small, dude.
Actually, it's one of the main suburbs of Houston. It's probably 80,000 people.
Wow.
Some 60.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just weird, spotty.
Yeah, it happens.
There's not, yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging in there and having the phone on you. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you a little sooner.
No worries.
I want you to
Actually,
know I blew off my 25-year-old daughter to call you first.
Okay, jeez.
You can do that with family, so it's fine.
Yeah.
She's not going to like that, but love you, Ashley.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Well,
Cool, man.
Thanks to the missus for letting us interrupt what I'm sure she was a wonderful story that she was telling you.
Oh no, it's all good.
And Brian, when next time you're in Dallas, which will probably be next year, we can all get together. Let's try to arrange something because it'd be nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be really great. Yeah.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Bye, Brian. Nice to meet you.
Hey, you too.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, who was that on his shoulder?
This is the kids or something.
Oh, he had something on his shoulder there for a minute. Like it may have been a stuffed animal of some sort.
Oh, I think it was one of the kiddos just holding up their bear.
You think those kiddos, those are shenanigans. That's what those were.
Guys, I am a little taken aback at just that people listen to us.
Yeah, I know. It still freaks me out.
It doesn't shock me that people somehow stumble across our podcast like the first time. It's the people who listen to 2 shows that get me. It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you hear like a particularly good show where we all like alert and we had caffeine or something for the show you heard? Or
Must have been.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly how that works. But
I'm gonna try pulling somebody else in real quick.
fantastic.
You know, Bill, while Brad does that,
Yes.
do you remember the 4 weeks we were half-hour weekly, the
Oh my gosh.
news and entertainment program?
Dude, I do. In fact, I came this close to pulling some of the promos for those shows. Episodes 246, 7, 8, and 9.
I listened to those too, man. That was some weird stuff.
I had a very good time with those. I still think that's the best the audio engineering I've ever done.
Hello.
I'm waiting for a video.
Oh!
Callum, turn it horizontal. Turn it horizontal. Turn it horizontal.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, it's good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. How are you going?
Good.
Going great. You know, I was going to make a deal about you being, about what time is it in Australia, but then Brad reminded me you're in Missouri now.
That is true. That's
Yeah.
we're time buddies.
How long have you been in the States?
5 years, 5.5 years now.
You
Gotcha,
still sound like you just arrived on a boat.
Yes, that is true.
I was going to ask what part of Missouri that accent is from.
Beg your pardon?
Is that a northern Missouri or a southern Missouri accent?
It's southeast Missouri.
There you go.
Oh, yes, sir. That's fantastic.
So,
Yeah,
go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say, once or twice a year, it seems like it happens all the time, but my phone will tell me, hey, here's some memories. And every time I pop it open and see you and your beautiful family sitting with those idiots in the garden room,
Yep.
it always makes me feel good.
Hey, Callum, guess what I found on my old laptop the other day?
Well, what did you find, Brad?
Just some old pictures. It wasn't anything to do with you.
Yeah.
So, Brad,
I still think about that, and I still get angry.
Yes.
But I'm
Brad,
glad you're here, part of this now. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's
Brad, you need to recap what happened.
On 500, guys. That's awesome.
Thank you, Callum. Yeah, for Frank was saying, what year was it when you came to Bill's house? What year was that?
Oh, I don't know. About 7 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say 7 because I think you were talking about moving over at that time, but it was another year or so before you did.
You came to the States to visit your wife's family, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you were able to come by, and we recorded probably the two best half-hour wasted episodes we'd ever recorded.
Yes.
They were solid.
It was gold. I think that the technical term is gold. And then they just disappeared. I have no clue what happened. And I was sick to my stomach. I think I cried myself to sleep for like an entire week.
Mm-hmm.
We were pretty devastated because it was such a big deal for you to be here. It's like, wow, I mean, he's from all the way from Australia. This is going to be great. and having to tell you what happened was just the worst.
Yeah, I felt like this big, man.
Yeah. No, I remember you called me. We just got to my wife's family's house, I guess, and you called me and said, I don't know what's happened, but it's gone. And that was sad. That really, I mean, I'm just so glad we have the photos and the memories and the proof that we're actually there together. Otherwise, well, this could also be some big conspiracy theory. But photos.
You still have the hat. That makes me so happy.
I've just been wearing it for the last 40 minutes since 7 o'clock waiting for you guys, but that's okay.
Well, we had some technical difficulties, and then we couldn't get one guy on, and we had to take a potty break, that kind of stuff.
Small bladders.
So what have you been up to, Callum? Have you been working this through the whole COVID thing? How's the family? Give us a quick update.
Yeah, no, I have been working. I actually work in the field of hospice these days. I'm a hospice chaplain. So that's how I spend my days. And yeah, we've been working right through. It's been a little bit difficult. We have patients in nursing homes, and I can't get in to see them, which has been very, very hard, to be honest with you. But again, we're still seeing our home patients, and still providing that support to people in that situation. The rest of the family's doing well. My kids are homeschooled, so they've not had to worry about school being cancelled. Every time throughout March and April, everyone would say, "Oh, hey kids, you happy school's cancelled?" They'd say, "We're homeschooled." So I think they got sick of being asked that question, but no, apart from that, everyone's gone real well. Thank you.
Do your kids sound like you, or do they sound like your wife?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
hey, Callum, I do want to take a moment just to say, thank you for your work as a hospice pastor. Is that what you said? Or just chaplain? I've been very lucky enough in my life to be with my parents when they passed away, and they had hospice care, and just the people took very good care of our family. And it was, in retrospect, it was so helpful. So thank you for the work you do. It means a lot to people, especially at that time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Again, it's a difficult job, obviously, but I really do love it. I really, it's terrible that people have to walk this journey, but I'm just happy they walk it. Like you said, Frank, we've got a really great team around us, nurses, social worker, chaplain. And again, it's horrible when people have to walk that path, and I'm just so thankful we get to walk with them. But thank you.
I had one.
Okay.
I think I only had one grandparent in hospice for a short time, and I'll be honest with you, it was hard being there.
Yep.
It was difficult, so I can't imagine doing what you do.
Yeah, day in and day out. That's
You're a
the
better man
part
than I
that
am,
amazes me.
Callum.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk entertainment. So, how have you been keeping yourself entertained? Have you been to a movie theater, or have you ventured out, or have you been safe in the house?
No. Again, you know, I would go to a movie theater if there was one open. I mean, I feel pretty safe. I mean, I was actually hoping that Bill and Ted would be on at the local movie theater, or something like Tenet would be on at the local movie theater. I was ready to go this weekend, to tell you the truth, but that didn't work out, suffice to say. But no, we've stayed safe. We still go to our favorite Mexican restaurant in town here, so nothing wrong with that. But yeah, apart from that, just a lot of DVDs in the library we've been watching.
Yeah. I hear you.
About 3 seasons of The Flash over the summer, so that's been fun.
How's the Mexican food in Missouri?
Good, especially in Piedmont, Missouri. There's a really good Mexican. So can't speak for all of Missouri, but Piedmont, if you're ever in sunny downtown Piedmont, hit me up, and I'll find you a good Mexican place.
I was at
good.
I was at the.
It's called Taco Bell. It's.
You've heard of it.
I was in.
Yeah.
I was in St. Joseph a couple years ago for the eclipse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and my buddy Kevin and his daughter and granddaughter, we took the trip up. I have cousin that lives in Kansas City, Missouri, and we spent the night there, and then we drove out to St. Joseph the next day, and and that morning it was rainy and cloudy the whole time, and we're like, I can't believe we drove all the way out here. And then it was happening, and then, dude, if you ever get a chance to be in the totality of a solar eclipse, it's one of the most amazing things. It was like God went, I'm going to turn the lights off for just a second. And it just went, ooh. It was like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was creepy. Yeah. We were all looking around at all this weird lighting, and then we heard this cheering and stuff in the background, and we looked up, and the clouds parted just long enough for us to be able to see the eclipse. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'd do it again.
Yes.
It was very cool.
Where were you? Were you able to see the eclipse from where you were at?
Yeah, I was in Missouri. It was just, I guess, a Tuesday morning or something, in which went out the front office and all stood up the sky like this and did that. And
were you in the path of the totality, or were you outside of it?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I mean, it was solid, like it was pretty dark. I mean, I don't think it was the totality, but yeah, there was enough that you could see a definite change.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough to hear in a couple of years it'll be just southeast of Dallas.
Oh, nice.
Out in Kaufman County.
I didn't realize that, Brad.
East on 175 towards Kaufman County and Canton and all that stuff. We'll be able to drive down there and be in the path of totality in 2024. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm super excited about it again.
Yeah.
I'm bummed out. I'm going to miss it if I stay in Dallas. I mean, I'm not even going to notice if I'm Dallas.
Well, it'll be on the. If you don't move, if memory serves, you'll be right on the edge of totality. But if you drive, an hour and a half east, you'll be dead center totality. So, and it's
what a driveway and drive like 10 yards down the road.
See, that's probably a good idea. That's probably what I should do.
Yeah, but then you got to get in your car and you got to put on your shoes.
I've got to get my welding license so I can get the hat so I can look at the sun, and it just seems like a lot of steps. See something I could probably just watch on TV.
Yeah, well, that works. Thank God for you.
Hey. Thank goodness for YouTube, no doubt.
Frank, are you jealous?
Yes, I am. My mug broke.
What happened? NASA get to it?
No, I would take my mug home every day to wash it, and it just fell out of my lunch bag one day after a couple months. My half-hour wasted ceramic mug.
I should be drinking my hard lemonade out of a half-hour wasted mug. But I'm too lazy to walk the 11 feet, so forgive me, please.
So your kids are homeschooled, so they might go crazy anyway, just being home all the time, regardless
awesome.
of COVID or not.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, they especially the first few weeks and months where they were literally just locked in. I mean, the softball, baseball season got cancelled here. I mean, church got cancelled. The weekly activities we normally do there got cancelled. And of course, no kid wanted to send their kids to play with my kids. So, But yeah, like I said, it's loosened up a little bit. We're hoping to start a soccer season here in soccer season.
There you go. Nice.
Thank you for pronouncing it correctly.
Another 20 or 30 years, you're going to have that down. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm an American fighter pilot.
You're a pilot coming up.
Asked about my kids' accents, and when I said they're a mix, my son's name is M-A-R-K, which I say Mark.
Mac.
Mark.
Of course, yeah, Mark. So, so he said that when we first got here, but like I said, his first baseball season, he said to the kids, "Oh, my name's Mark," and like, Mark. So he pretty quickly changed to Mark. My name's Mark.
Okay.
I think that's the trick to doing a proper American accent is all the R's, the hard R's.
But that's a shame. He needs to go back to Mark. But I understand the peer pressure and just
Mark. Is he from Boston, Mark? Like Mark Wahlberg?
My life hack is always suggest to people who are trying to learn the American accent, if you need to learn the American accent the right way, listen to Graham Chapman's version of an American accent on any Monty Python episode. It's fantastic. Like to say there's not enough things being put on other things.
Well, I've been told by my wife I sound like John Wayne when I try and do my American accent, so... Yeah.
Well, how about TV-wise or music-wise? What have you been binging? You said you watched 3 seasons of The Flash. You binged through. Anything else on your radar, or anything else you've been trying to catch up on?
Not really. It's time for my annual rewatch of Firefly, so I started that earlier this week.
Oh, nice.
So do that just about every year, and I start hearing quotes, start seeing pictures on the internet, and I say to my wife, it's that time of the year again, time for the annual. She's not joining me this year, so it's just on the laptop while I'm on the treadmill. I'm watching Firefly. So.
She'll look at you and say, "How many times are you going to watch this? Don't you know it already?"
It's just once a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you finish it off with Serenity, or do you stop?
Yes. No. Finished off. Tie that nice bowl around it. I am a leaf on the. They say.
Yep. I'm shocked in this day and age where it seems like 30-year-old shows are being recycled and re-upped. I mean, everything from Will and Grace to, I'm surprised that they haven't figured out a way to get Firefly back on the air.
Yeah.
Firefly, the next generation. That's what we need. Come on.
Ashley ended up watching that because I had talked about it. She ended up loving it.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's such a good series.
I haven't seen it in a while. I need to rewatch it, especially since it's only, like less than 20 hours worth of television.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 13 hours there, Brad.
Well, plus a 2-hour movie, motion picture.
Plus one 2-hour movie.
A motion picture.
No, totally worth it.
What size is that noggin of yours, Colin? Colin? What size is that?
Yeah. No.
Not that big.
It's an L.
Large.
Nice. Yeah,
I do remember not. I wanted to surprise you. To get you the hat, and I didn't know your size, so I just took a chance of whatever that size was. I think I went to the guy and goes, "What's the average size hat?" And the guy just looked at me and he just said, "Here, just take this one."
Now, I've been meaning to ask, Frank, is that a metric large or an imperial large? We use the metric system down home, so...
Yes. I think it's not metric.
Yeah, no. You're in Texas, buddy. That ain't metric.
It's imperial bit tight.
Has it been frustrating for you to have to move over to non-metric stuff?
Oh, yeah. I still don't know how many pints are in a gallon or ounces are in a yard or anything like that. So,
Did you say ounces are in a yard?
yeah.
See?
You know what?
See that he hasn't
That's your
learned.
problem right there. Is you got to learn what's inside of what first, and then learn how many of them.
1,024 pints to the gallon or yards to a foot or something. I don't know.
I think that's bits in a
you're
bite,
right
right?
there. You're right there.
Isn't that right?
Do you have any plans to go back and visit anytime soon back home?
Well, I did plan. Earlier this year we started to talk about maybe going over right now, actually.
Right.
But then COVID come along and we put into that plan. Our plan was to go right. Actually, like I said, right around now. We were talking about it in March, and then about a week later, COVID hit. So.
Oh my goodness! I'm glad you didn't buy your tickets and
yeah.
started booking stuff. Yeah.
Now, will Australia let you back in, seeing as you're like a legacy?
Well, I'm a citizen, so if that's what you mean by.
Yes.
Are you a dual citizen yet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went through the initiation ceremony probably about 2 years ago. So.
Oh, good for you, man. That's great.
Was the test hard?
Not really.
No.
Not really. It's just like anything. You sort of cram the night before. Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
Red, white, and blue. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red, white, green. I don't know. Blue.
What this means is that Callum knows twice as much as any of the three of us.
Oh, dude. Well, let's not get carried away. I mean, like I said, I just crammed it the night before, went past the test, and then something about the house, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, I said, look, you're going to pay taxes, right? All right, you're in.
Hey, Callum, what do you say to those conspiracy theorists that say that Australia is not a real place and it's made up?
What? I've never heard this.
You guys have never heard about this? Say again?
I said that's fine by me. They're welcome to think that way. They can. They don't need to come on down.
Well, our friend Shelby has a friend in Australia, and she and her son went to visit that friend in Australia a few years ago, and she was telling me all about these people who think that Australia, like, there's no way Australia is a real thing and it's all just made up.
Wow!
I've never heard about
blowing
this?
my mind.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's probably the same people that think the Earth is flat.
That's what I was
okay.
Look, and anyone that feels that way, that's fine. They don't need to trouble themselves going down to Australia. We'll be fine without them. Thanks very much.
Right. I don't know much about Australia, but there's a comedian named Jim Jeffries. I'm sure you've heard of him. He has a podcast called I Don't Know About That. And he's always made me laugh. I think he's a clever comedian. But he does a podcast where the producers of the show, maybe he's involved with it, they pick a topic for an episode, and like say one of the real topics was bees. Okay, so they were going to do a show about bees.
Right.
And so at the beginning of this, how are we on time? Frank just sent me a text.
Yeah.
We're great.
See, I looked at the text silently. I didn't verbalize it.
No, I'm breaking the fourth wall. We're doing great.
Off track.
We're doing
can't
great.
do that.
I'm always worried about time when it comes to these things. So I'm sorry. I was trying to do it discreetly, but
No, I know.
I know we're trying to push you away, Callum.
Frank, just throw one of these.
No, we're doing fine.
We had one more person who we were going to call, but so we'll finish up with Callum and then we'll call them.
Okay.
And then we'll. But anyway, this guy, his podcast, it's called I Don't Know About That with Jim Jeffries. So what he does is the producer will say, okay, this episode we're going to talk about bees, and then for the next few minutes, Jim Jeffries will say everything he knows about bees, whether it's true or he's making it up on the spot, and the producer takes notes about what he says. Then, actually, I left a part out. They've been doing it, over Zoom, so they see, like, he'll see a stranger, because he sees the producers, everybody involved in the show, but then he sees a stranger, and they're like, So he has to figure out who that stranger is and what they do. Not their name, because how can he figure that out? But he has to figure out, based on looks alone, what that person does and what they're an expert in. They bring in an expert in. Yeah. It's all for fun. So then he'll ask him yes or no questions, and sometimes he guesses it and sometimes he doesn't. Then when he finds out what they're an expert in this case of this particular episode, it was about bees, he would go on and on for 5 minutes or whatever and saying everything he knew about bees. The producer would make notes, and then they would spend the next hour talking to the expert about bees, and they would say, okay, well, at the beginning of the episode, Jim said this. Was he right about that? And sometimes he's right, and sometimes he's not. He just tries to, bluff his way through whether or not he knows about a certain topic or whatever. But I have learned so much about different topics just from listening to that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's very entertaining. He's talked about bees. He talked about Saudi Arabia. He talked about the moon landing. He talked about, and it was the moon landing thing that made me think of it, because I said some people think Australia was not real and it was a conspiracy theorist. A lot of people think that way about the moon landing, and then my brain started thinking about that episode.
Gotcha.
That's how I made the train here.
Yep.
So anyway.
Australia's all filmed on a backlog. We don't like to tell everyone, but
right.
We ship in a bunch of kangaroos and let the cameras roll.
Oh, that is such a stereotype.
Well, have you enjoyed your last few years here in the States?
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay for you to say no.
No, I have. I mean, I certainly miss home. I've always missed friends and family more than anything else. I mean, the two countries are very similar in a lot of ways these days. But again, family, friends, that's what I've missed more than anything else.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, at least you got video chat, right?
Yes, yeah.
And speaking of video chat, it sure is nice to see your cherub-like face.
You're always a joy, man, and it's you're always going to be that guy who came halfway around the world to hang out with us. That means a lot.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when my wife has family down there somewhere, and as soon as she said, I was like, I'm just punching exactly how close that is to the half-hour wasted, guys. And I mean, we're only about 20, 30 minutes, I think, at the most. Brad ran me home when we were done, and it wasn't too far back to my wife's cousins or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just so wrapped. That was such a I didn't tell my wife this. That was such a highlight on that trip for me. You really have no idea. So
yeah, don't tell her that was the favorite thing you did on that particular trip.
Oh no.
No, it was your cousins, honey.
How is your wife doing anyway? What's up with her?
She's gone well. Like I said, she's homeschooling 4 kids across 4 different grades, so that has its challenges. But no, she's doing well. So
good.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And how old is the oldest of your kids?
She is currently 14, but she'll be 15 next month.
Okay.
Not sure how I feel about my firstborn starting to drive and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
Yeah, my wife and I were talking about that last night. She said, next month she can legally drive. I said, yeah, no.
Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, I know. So,
all right, well, we're going to let you go. Thanks for calling,
Yeah.
or thanks for letting us know that we can call you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on 500. I was thinking about it. I want to share one more quick memory before you all go. And it must have been in like the 180s, the 190s that I started listening to you guys pretty regular. And you said, hey, if anyone was listening, send us an email, send us some feedback. And so I did. And then you guys ended up reading that feedback on episode 200. And I still remember listening to that episode, and I think I sent you guys a follow-up, because that night my son had to go into hospital. He had some troubles, and I was sitting there all night long, nothing serious. But 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting there listening to Half-Hour Wasted, episode 200, and Brad says, hey, we've got this email from this guy called Callum, and he's giving us some feedback and some good news and whatever. And I'll tell you what, episode 200, you guys read that email? I don't know, I've been a fan for the last 300 ever since.
Thanks,
Wow.
man. Appreciate it.
I want to share that memory with you guys.
Thanks, Callum.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That means a lot.
Well, God bless you guys. It was great to catch up.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, we're in the same time zone, so if you guys want to catch up and have another chat, I'm certainly open to that. I'd love to if you guys...
Thank you, sir.
Sounds good.
Yep.
We'll talk
All
to you
right,
soon.
cheers.
Yep, all right. Congratulations, guys. I'll catch you later.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing.
These memories are. I've repeated myself. It's just.
One more call.
I just like.
One more call.
I'm just speechless. That's
I
all.
know. One more call, and then we'll. Come on, why do you keep doing this? There we go. All right.
You sound like you're getting nervous, Brad.
No, there he is.
Hey!
Hey!
Tilt down, Russell.
Hey guys, I can't hear you. Hold on.
Tilt down.
Let me.
Oh, he can't hear
Check
us.
your settings, Mr. Latham. Did you check your settings yet, Russell?
There you go.
There we are.
down.
Hey, Russell. Good to see you, buddy.
How are you guys?
Loving it.
Doing really well. How about yourself?
Not too
Russell,
bad.
can you tilt down?
Can I tilt the webcam down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
I can, but I won't.
I won't. Yeah.
That's better. Thanks, man.
Sure.
Yeah, that's perfect, Frank. That's perfect.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
Why is he trolling us? Not you, Russell, Frank.
Did you just
Added
turn
some-
lights on from your computer?
I did.
Turn it off. Turn them off.
Alexa, turn on Man Cave 1. Wait. Wait, I did it the wrong way. Alexa, turn off Man Cave 1.
Ah!
Alexa, turn off Man Cave 2.
Whoa!
nice.
No way!
Alexa, turn on Man Cave 1. Alexa, turn on Man Cave 2. There you go.
I still think that is so. I mean, I have it set up in my house, and I still think that's cool.
Alexa,
Yeah, it's a neat
order
thing.
me a 6-string electric guitar.
Yeah, when I redid this room, the light switches are in kind of a weird spot. So when the electrician came in, I just made sure they were Alexa enabled, and then I'm like, I don't care where the light switches are
Yeah.
because I don't touch them.
Did you know that you can change or at least, because I had Alexa for a while, I do Google now, but you could change the name from Alexa to
Alexa, cancel.
computer. And,
Yeah.
And then, so I had my Alexa set up for computer, so I could just say, "Computer, turn on the lights."
My son had to change his to say, we're triggering like stuff left and right. This is probably awesome. My son had to change his to say Amazon because my granddaughter's name is Alyssa, and so every time they'd say Alyssa, the goofy thing would go off. So
Brad,
actually
were
know
you
someone named
aware that
Alexa.
you could change the trigger word to computer on
Yeah.
Alexa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, there's only 3 words you can use. It'd be nice if you could just choose whatever word you wanted, but
Computer.
yeah.
Joe Jan says, congratulations. Wish I could join you, but just am not available. Anyway, congrats. Wow, 500. Not an easy task. Way to go.
Thank you, Joe Jans.
So, Russell, are you going to go to the movie theater and watch New Mutants anytime soon?
No, sadly, no.
Let me
It bums me
rephrase
out.
it. If there was not a pandemic, would you have already seen New Mutants by now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard so many bad reviews of it, and I didn't see the last X-Men movie either. That I probably would not have seen it myself.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix was bad. It was very bad.
It was. I thought the opening scene was interesting enough to get me to leave the play button, the stop button alone, and then it went downhill from there.
Yikes.
Yeah, and Apocalypse wasn't. I think Dark Phoenix was slightly better than Apocalypse,
Ugh,
but
really?
that's like
You're the
that's
first
not
person
saying
I've heard
much.
that said that movie was better than Apocalypse.
Yeah, but you know, that's like saying, you know, getting your arm broken is better than getting your leg broken. Like, you know, it's sometimes things can still be bad. Just one is less bad than the other.
Nice.
That was pretty brilliant.
It was not good.
That's funny. That's pretty
Not
funny.
good at all.
I like it.
And New Mutants may be terrible, but you know the trailers look good. I saw that opening scene they put online that looked pretty decent. So I think it's worth a watch. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you know, I kind of categorize movies about worth going to the theater for, and you know, if they were to pop on cable or if someone had DVD, I'd watch it. But yeah, New Mutants and that last X-Men movie, I was just like, I'm not going to go to the theater to see this.
See, I had the AMC, the stubs, the thing you pay $20 a month for, and you can just go.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I really enjoy going to the movies, so it just bums me out that, you know, I'm not going to be going into a theater. I for sure won't be going in before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I just don't know how soon into next year I'll be going. So,
Do you
if
have,
it was just me, it
theaters
wouldn't be
down
such a big deal. But my wife has just like she has a contributing factors that would make things very, very bad if I were to bring that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's really more about me getting it to her than as anything else. But it's a bummer because, like I said, I really enjoy going to the movies. So
Yeah.
Hey, we talked to Ken Morgan
I-
earlier.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I didn't
He mentioned Apocalypse 2. He what was his comment? It was like, that was okay, or
He didn't love it.
or you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't chatted with him. It's been a minute since I've talked to him in person. So,
Yeah.
who else you guys been talking to?
I have a list. We talked to Brian Frederick, Mark Allgaier. That's how you say his name, is Allgaier.
Sure.
Brian Fuqua, Callum Reevy,
Yeah.
Ken Morgan, and you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Brian Frederick.
It was the first one I said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So for me, I guess it's a good thing that I've spent the last couple of years beefing up the home theater because this is going to be it for the foreseeable
Oh
future.
my God.
So,
Yeah.
What
So
size
what-
TV
what's
you
the-
got in there?
65.
Gosh.
That's
That'll
what, I,
just have-
that's what I have right here.
So Russell, I recently learned that you can watch Mulan for $30 right now if
Yeah.
you want to see it. Is that a price point you would be willing to do for, like, say, Black Widow?
Yeah, probably. I would do $30 for Black Widow because that's something that, like, normally it would be something me and my son and my daughter-in-law and like my daughter, my wife, like multiple people would see it. So, yeah, that's something we pay $30 and just all of us just kind of pile around, the TV with, pop. If we went to the movies to see that for all of us to go, my wife she prefers watching movies at home just in general anyway, but usually if me and my son and my daughter-in-law go, it's their tickets are $12-14 a pop, and then you add in all the concession stuff and everything else, and you're talking an easy $50-$60. So to pay $30, and then I can go buy a box of microwave popcorn for $2.50 or something like that. So
The only way I would pay $30 is if everybody that showed up PayPal me $5 before I ever downloaded it or whatever.
yeah.
I have to kind of see where I'm at when the movie comes out. Like if I because I'm so worried about going to the theater. I think I might pay $30 to see it that first week, just because I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, Mulan's a tough one just because for me, it's not that big of a deal, and it'll be on Disney Plus in December. I guess December is when it comes, just for the masses. So for me, I'm like, I could wait 3 months to watch Mulan. It's not that big of a deal. So,
how about something like Tenet? I know Bill saw Tenet.
Tenet's a tough one because, so when it comes to Christopher Nolan, he's such a a film quality nerd. Like I'm a huge film quality nerd. So for me, I'd probably rather wait until I could buy the disc, because that disc is going to look 10 times better than the stream version. And I just don't want to pay $30 for a stream version. If I'd rather pay $30 for the disc version and be able to watch it off the disc version, because it's going to look a lot better than that stream version, even in 4K, just because the bit rate is much better. But
I'll say this, Russell. I really enjoyed Tenet, but honestly, I think of the Nolan movies, this one, you should see in the theater if you can, just because. But this is not a movie that requires you to see it on a 50-foot screen or 80-foot screen or whatever it is. This is it's not necessarily a more personal tale, but it doesn't have like the real crazy special effects dynamics that you got out of Dark Knight Rises or Inception or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more. It felt like the entire movie was in camera, which I thought was really cool.
See, and that's where that stuff shines. Like when you put that on a disc and can play it, that's where it's really going to shine, because it's all optical, and it just looks really crisp, and it's finished very nice. I mean, some of the best 4K discs I own are Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. I mean, those IMAX scenes in the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises are unbelievable, because they go full frame on the TV. They don't letterbox it. The sound and everything, it's just amazing. I mean, it looks so crystal clear. So,
you have a 4K TV?
Yeah.
Oh, Frank, you don't have a 4K TV? I'm still
pumping out a 1080p with some broken pixels on it.
Oh no!
I got me a 1024 by 768 in the bathroom.
Nice. That's awesome. Mounted on the wall.
It's really small.
Yeah.
It's really small.
Yeah, I've got a 4K TV too, Russ. So I'm right there with you, buddy. I know how awesome it can be. These guys, they're not serious about their TV watching.
I have a 4K.
Oh,
Brad's got
okay.
one, yeah.
So
I have
Russ,
a 1K.
Frank's clearly not serious about his TV watching.
Look, I don't have $4,000. That's what 4K means, right? It costs $4,000. That's what I assume.
I spent $4,000 on that television.
Yeah.
Now you get a really nice TCL for if you wanted like a 55-inch TCL, like $500, $450.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's just, at some point I'm going to treat myself and get it. It's just I just don't do a lot of television watching. I play, it'd probably be nice for video games. I've been playing a lot of video games lately, so. I earlier today I was playing Uno on my Xbox. That would really shine on a
4K. Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Crazy 8s at 60 frames a second, and
nice.
I really was playing Uno on Xbox earlier today.
Nice. Minesweeper in 4K on that 65 inches. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I was actually playing the Avengers when you guys before you guys call.
How is that? It's brand new, right?
Yeah, it's. I had no plans to get it. There's a very few times where I'll buy a brand new game and pay $60 for it. I am always so far backlogged and so far behind that usually by the time I'm ready for one of these big AAA games, they're down to $20 or $25.
Same here.
And I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, man, it's really good. And so he was playing, and his son was playing. So I was like, I'll just just bite the bullet and get it, because that way, if nothing else, we can play online, and we could kind of play co-op with some of these missions and stuff. And it's actually it's better. It's much better than I thought. I know when the beta came out, the reviews were terrible. People just thought it was terrible, but it's really good. The story is really compelling, and I like the fact that they're varying up the characters. So you don't just play as one character throughout the whole game. You actually switch between the other the heroes, and so that they move differently, and the power sets are different and everything. So it just doesn't feel like this monotonous like if you're playing like Call of Duty or Destiny or something like that, it's just, it's like, okay, it's the same character over and over again, and so being able to switch it up is nice.
I'm gonna wait
That's
for
nice
the
to-
Moon Knight DLC.
There you go. There you go.
Hey,
It's nice to eliminate the grind aspect, I guess.
hey
Yeah.
Russell, you mentioned Destiny. So you played Destiny?
I played the first one a lot more than the second one.
Yeah, I struggle a little bit with. I struggled a little bit with it. It was
I struggled with the second one a lot. Now they've added all those expansions, and it supposedly made it much, much better. I just haven't gone back to it. Just too much other stuff has come out.
Well, I was referring more to like just the world of Destiny and just like the history and the back matter and all that stuff. And it's just like it's deeply complicated, and it's just like I just try to get into it to understand it, and it's a big, huge game just from a story aspect.
Yeah.
I think when I bought Red Dead 2, I think it was Red Dead 2, Best Buy had a deal where I got Destiny free or something. I've got Destiny over there. I've never even cracked it open.
It's free for like the disc?
Yeah.
The first one or the second one?
I think it was the first one.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense. They're they'll basically give you the first game.
The second
these
game
days.
now is like free. It's like the base game, and I think the first year or the first 2 years of DLC now are free. So it's like, they want you to, that game's changed models. Like the company split off from their parent company, and so they're on their own. So they weren't kind of beholden to like Activision, where they had to release on a timetable and stuff. So they just kind of opened it. Their whole thing with that game is just to make it this ongoing, ever-living thing that they just keep adding stuff to it. So I don't know. I just haven't jumped back into it.
Brad, what did you think of Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's funny, Brad and I talked about this the other day.
Yeah. So Red Dead Redemption was one of the best video games I've ever played. The first one.
Yeah.
On PS3
Yes.
of all places.
Yes.
Wow.
And about 2 weeks into playing Red Dead 2, I thought, why do I have to move this bag of corn from this part of the camp to the other side of the camp? And why do I have to watch myself take a bath? And why can't I run when I'm in camp? I was not having fun.
Yeah.
Brad, I played about 2 hours of it, and I was done.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the deluxe edition with all the cool downloadable, the pre-download digital stuff, like a horse and chaps or some stupid, and it came with like a fold-out map, and I was like, this is going to be the best thing ever, because I played Red Dead and the zombie version that came with Red Dead.
Yeah.
I played them multiple times. They were so great. And then Red Dead 2 came out, and I was like, even when you go take a bath and you have a lady come in to help wash your back and shoulders, it's still not fun. It's still not fun.
No.
Russ, what did you think?
Same as Brad. It just bored me to tears. I love the first game so much, and I just found the pace of it. I've been so busy at work, and so the time I have to play games is not as much as it used to be, and just other stuff going on. I don't have time to just play a very slowly paced, plodding game that just, it's like Brad said, just the moving around the world, just having to get on the horse and go through these vast spaces of nothing, or finding something that just isn't interesting. It just, luckily for me, it was on the Xbox Game Pass, so I didn't pay for it. So I just kind of,
I played it too.
Yeah, I just downloaded it, and like I said, I played at it for a little while, and I was like, maybe I just need to get to that, that you get over that hump, and then you keep going, and it just never came, and I was like, and then the message came up on Game Pass that said, leaving soon from Xbox Game Pass, Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was like, okay, now's the time to uninstall Red Dead Redemption 2. I am not going to finish this game before it goes off of Game Pass, and I'm not going to buy it.
And that game got good reviews, too. That's the part I don't understand. People rave about it, and it is I don't get it.
It's polarizing, because people either love it or they have the same opinion that we do, and they just peace out.
The thing about that game that interests me the most, and I've watched videos on YouTube, when they introduced the multiplayer version, the co-op play, people created fight clubs in the world of Red Dead. They would meet at a certain place on the map, and it was fun. The one I saw was like there's a road that people would travel on, and there's a fence on the side of the road, and then there would be like 25, 30 characters standing along the fence, and two of them would hop the fence, and they'd walk out, and then they would start fighting, because you can punch in Red Dead 2, right?
Yeah.
So they would fight each other until one of them died, and then that player would disappear because he died, and then another player would hop the fence and come down, and then the two of them would fight.
God.
They actually made fight clubs inside this.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and you.
Well, you know
hear...
that's where they make all their money. Like, do you know GTA 5 is? It makes some insane amount of money. Like, it's multiple $1 billion per year, and that game's been out for almost 10 years now, and it still makes that much money because of that multiplayer stuff.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. That game has sold, I forget how many millions of copies, because it's been. You know, it was on the 360 and the PS3, then it went to PS4 and Xbox One, and people have bought it on multiple platforms. They bought it on PC. It's sold. It's ridiculous. It's double-digit million copies of this game.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's like having your copy of Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl, and cassette, and the CD, and then compact disc, and then reel-to-reel, and then hologram,
DAT tape.
Right. Thank you. Yes. DAT
what was
tape.
it? Mini disc, and that was.
Oh yeah, mini disc. I never tried the mini disc. I always heard that they sounded very cold. But Sony's algorithms,
the reel to reel.
Yeah, Sony's trigonometry or whatever wasn't quite up to snuff compared to DAT tapes.
Then somebody's bootleg from a live concert somewhere.
Right.
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, there's this 4 or 6 part documentary miniseries on Netflix called High Score.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. It's all about the home video game consoles that we played when we were kids.
Oh, really?
It's
no
great.
kidding.
Trust me. Watch it. It's so worth it.
You know that did you guys ever they made an awesome audiobook out of this, and I can't remember the exact name of the book, but I think it's like Console Wars. It's the so Brad, if in the High Score documentary they talked to Tim Kalinske. He was the guy from Sega, the older guy from Sega.
Yeah.
That they talked to. This book is about the whole Sega versus Nintendo fight.
Well, they talk about that in the show.
Yeah, I think it's Evan Goldberg and what's his name?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's them. They're adapting that book into a TV show.
Cool.
I think it's for AMC or for Amazon. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think they're doing the adaptation on it, and it's an amazing book because it goes into excruciating detail about how it focuses more on the Sega side than on the Nintendo side, but imagine like a 2.5 hour movie over that 35-minute documentary that that we saw.
Well, hopefully it'll be an easier watch than Preacher.
Yeah, I fell off.
I finished the whole thing.
Yeah, I ended up watching. I became increasingly happy as I got to the last 3-4 episodes that, oh my god, it's finally going to be over. I was really glad.
It would be hard to faithfully translate that comic to the screen, and they did what they could with it.
And see, part of my issue was that I never read the comics, which is probably just nuts. Though
I never finished the comics. I started.
The comics were a lot better. They had to leave a lot out of the comics when they did the show. They took some major story points and they kind of switched them around. They basically started in the middle of the entire comic book run, and that was like season 1, which is really strange. So there was a handful of things I wanted to see on the screen that I got to see. And because I got to see them, I was okay with the show as a whole. But anyway.
Going back to video games for just a second. Russell, in that documentary, do they talk about that convention? And you guys may need to correct me on this maybe I have this wrong, but was it Sega and Sony? They were having a format war, and there was a convention where Sega announced that they were going to be putting out the Saturn, and they were rushing production, and they kind of announced there that it was going to come out a couple months early, and they announced the price dollars less than.
Oh no, that was the PS4. That was the
PS4.
That was the Xbox One. Yeah, because that was just 2013, 14.
Are you serious? Is that okay?
Yeah, that was Xbox One, because Xbox had that whole presentation with Don Matrick where he went out and was like, "This is an entertainment system, and you can plug your cable box into it, and it's going to do all this cool TV stuff, and it's got the Kinect built in, and all this kind of stuff, or packaged in, and then the price is $4.99 or whatever it was, and then or $4.50 or whatever it was, and yeah, Sony when they did the PS4 thing, they pretty much just came out and go, "Yep, it's $3.99," and just mic drop and walked out.
Yeah,
which is why we're in the position we're in now, where we're less than 90 days from console launches, and we have no idea what day they're launching or what price point. Because
I was going to ask you about the PS5. You don't know any details?
No, it's. I saw this meme somewhere where it was like, what was it? It was somebody representing Sony, and it was like this guy that has this frightened look on his face, and he's sweating, and there's a guy behind him with a gun to his head, and it says Microsoft, and then there's a guy behind him with a gun to his head that says Sony. So it's like Sony, Microsoft, Sony. It's like they're just trying to see who blinks first, right? Because whichever one, if Microsoft announces their price, it's say 500, I guarantee you Sony's going to come out and probably say 450, or 479 or something like that. But
I got a drawer full of cash waiting for PS5 to drop.
And then they did that weird thing on the Sony side.
Yeah, because it's backwards compatible. I got all these cool PS4 games. Will it play PS3 games?
The jury's out on that.
Because if I can play the old Red Dead zombie game on my PS5, that's awesome.
You could probably, I don't know, I guess Ubisoft came out recently and said no, that it's not going to be backwards compatible beyond the PS4.
Even if it's just the 4, that's still great.
Yeah, I mean, Sony's come out officially and said that they are officially blessing the top 100 games on PS4. They will be compatible, which means. And people are like, "Oh, only 100 games," and it's like, no, that's just what they've put their stamp on. I'm pretty sure.
You're gonna have time to play more than 100 games.
Yeah, I think 90% of that library will probably be totally fine on the PS5. But
hey, Russ, one last question before we have to let you go, because we do have one other caller that I'm going to get to. What's your favorite thing about us?
What's my favorite?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that question.
No, I it's funny.
I'm seriously. You don't have to answer that question. I'm just
no.
But go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, it's funny when the way I found you guys.
But you've only got 3 minutes.
I'll make it. Praise us, but hey, the clock's.
Take your time, but I need an answer in the next 30 seconds. But take your time.
But take your time.
Yeah, there you
go. It was back in the Comic Geek Speak days, and we're all on the forums and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, these guys from Dallas are starting a podcast." And I was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." That the closest at that time, it was the closest people I know, or that I didn't know, but hey, somebody within within the same state is actually starting a podcast that talks about comics and stuff. And so. I started listening to you guys, right out of the gate. I mean, I was waiting for the episode to drop when you guys talked about it coming.
Wow.
And then just listen. It just sounded like, Comic Geek Speak was so comic centric. And about you guys.
Hang on. I'm sorry. My computer just freaked out.
But you froze for a minute.
Yeah, so now we're back. So I missed probably 10 seconds of what you said.
No,
he's being very nice to us.
I know.
Yeah,
Okay, full disclosure, my finger accidentally hit the airplane mode button on my laptop.
Oh
no!
That's exactly what happened. I'm really sorry.
Dang.
No, it's cool that it bounced back that quick.
Yeah.
But no, just you guys talked about just stuff. Like it was just more like friends talking, and not like, hey, we're this is a podcast about comics, and that's our focus. It was more just natural conversation. And then I remember, one of the reasons I went to that Cape convention in Dallas was to, A, to just go to a convention for the first time in a long time, but B, to just kind of say hi to you guys and
nice.
and meet you for the first time.
I know that.
Bill, you weren't there then.
No,
you weren't there, but
I know that question was completely self-serving, but I thank you for indulging me.
Yeah. So it was, and I mean, one meeting at a small con where you guys had a table set up, and 12 years later, we're still, talk to each other on the phone. I mean, Brad, I've been to Dallas several times, stayed at your place several times. We've traveled together and stuff. It's been people talk about having friends on the internet, and it sounds a little weird, but it's really cool to just be like, hey, you started a real friendship, where you've met people in person, and but even last couple times I've traveled for business up to Dallas, Frank, and we've gone out to dinner and stuff. So it's kind of cool to just start an online relationship, but it actually turned into a real life friendship. And
I want to go out to dinner with you, Russ.
Next time I come up there, I told Brad this before, but I need to make a trip back up there once all this business kind of stops.
Absolutely.
All this COVID business chills out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I wasn't there that first time, but the guys, they had me on. They had me on the minor league broadcast.
Yes.
15 minutes poorly spent.
Yes.
I had to work my way up to half hour wasted. So. Yeah.
But all those Wizard World Dallas cons, were there 2 or 3 of them that we went to, and those were a blast, man.
Oh yeah. And you brought us barbecue because you're a good dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, hooked up the inverter up to the car battery and the whole to heat it up. That was great.
I remember.
And somehow the car still started at the end of the day. It did. It's an amazing thing.
All right, man. We'll have you back on the show again soon when we talk about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Congrats on 500, guys. It's amazing. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys started picking it up again and started doing shows again, because I know for a while there was a drought, and now there's not a drought anymore, and so it's good to hear you guys on the regular.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Russ.
All right, take care, guys.
Come on up. We'll go to Lockhart's.
All right, one more call.
I couldn't get the heart out fast enough.
I'm sorry, man. One more call, and then we'll.
That's okay. It's okay.
We'll get this going. One last call. Save the best for last.
Me? You're gonna have me talking to me?
Yeah.
Say,
Because
I've
I'm the best.
been on the show for like 2 hours now, so this is weird. God, the suspense is killing me. Is it?
Hey guys, we still have to do episode 501 next weekend.
Dang
What
it.
the heck are we going to talk about? Or can we just phone it in at this point?
Just
I mean,
Skype
we're
it in.
past 500. Let's just phone it in, baby. It's
I don't
just
know about you guys. I've been phoning it in for about 300 episodes now, so it's nothing new to me.
Hey.
Hey!
Oh!
Ash, great to see you.
Oh, I wish we could hear her.
Can't hear you.
Maybe it's because she's an angel now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's in there.
Oh, wow, that was quick. Okay, hey, okay, it was great having you with us. Thanks for...
I don't know what happened.
Oh, I can hear you now.
There you go.
Oh,
hey,
fantastic.
turn your phone the other way.
And we can hear you, too.
Don't me.
Is the...
there you are. What's on your head?
Is the halo
Every once in a while, Beth and I break out the glow sticks.
Okay.
When...
Here, I'll give you a beat.
Is it for... Is it any occasion you have broken out the glow sticks, or just cause?
Nope. Every once in a while, we'll just be sitting around.
Do we hear crickets?
Yeah, I'm out front.
Are you in Texas right now? Where are you?
Huh?
Are you in Texas?
No.
Those are Arkansas crickets you're hearing.
These are Arkansas crickets.
Golly, they're loud. That's amazing.
I'm right by a tree. Maybe that's part of it.
Well, I'm sorry it took so long for us to get to you.
That's okay. I'm just glad you guys are still relevant enough that you can't fit me in.
Wow. Yeah, you and us both, Miss Ashley. Yes.
Well, we saved the best for last. You're our last call.
He actually did say that before he dialed you up. So.
How many calls have you guys had?
I think you're like either 7 or 8. You know, we talk to people like for 10 or 15 minutes, probably 15 or 20 minutes sometimes. So. And this we're approaching. I'm looking at the video recording. We're at 2 hours and 41 minutes. So
goodness gracious!
Yeah,
yeah.
Look, Frank dressed up and even put a tie on.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, nice.
I'm like an Olive Garden waiter.
Oh my God! I'm so hungry. Stop it, dude.
Hey,
I would
Frank, about some more
destroy endless salad right now.
Some more breadsticks over here, please.
Yes, of course. Hey,
I want breadsticks now.
Over here,
Where can I get breadsticks? Will DoorDash deliver
Domino's.
Olive Garden to me?
Yeah, Domino's will bring you breadsticks. Pizza Hut will bring you breadsticks.
Yeah, that's a good.
Little
point.
Caesars.
Ashley, can't you buy the Olive Garden breadsticks at the store?
But are they Olive Garden breadsticks? Yeah, but I'd have to go.
I don't know.
Huge problem.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm
The
thinking,
Red Lobster
I'm
biscuits.
thinking of Red Lobster cheese biscuits. That's what you want right there, man.
Some hush
Look at
puppies.
Frank.
Yeah, there you go.
Those things are so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Last time Ashley came in, she made them. They're great.
They just come in like a Red Lobster box at the store.
Yeah, they're great.
Interesting.
I may have tried it once, and it either didn't come out good, or maybe this is a long time ago. But I wasn't as impressed as just getting him at the restaurant.
Did you blur your background, Ashley? Is that why it looks?
No, it's dark outside.
Oh, it just looks like blurred. I wondered if the mobile version of Skype had the blur on it.
I don't know.
All right.
Well,
I was trying to do something
It
with
looked
that
like
earlier.
it was blurred.
Now it's blurred.
No, now it's not blurred. Your headphones are clear, and previously now it's blurred.
Oh, I don't know how to use Skype.
You're doing it just fine.
Do you want the blur on or no?
Maybe your phone's got portrait mode on or something.
No, she's fine.
Yeah.
So what are you doing for Labor Day weekend? It's Labor Day weekend. That's since we're recording. Are you any fun plans, or are you just gonna COVID up in the house?
I'm actually off tomorrow.
Excellent.
I remember the last time I was off on Labor Day. And Jake is going to smoke out a brisket. He just cleaned the smoker out, and he's gonna start it tonight. And he went fishing today with his friend, and he caught 13 rainbow trout.
Wow.
Wow.
But there's like rules for how many you can keep and what size they have to be and stuff. So he only kept 3 of them and gave 1 to his friend. So I think he's gonna bake a rainbow trout also.
Yum.
Taste the rainbow. Right? Haven't you guys seen that commercial?
Yeah, Skittles.
What's your favorite part of the rainbow trout? Is it the part that tastes like grape, or the part that tastes like green apple, or is it the part that tastes like
like blueberry?
Right.
I've never had rainbow trout, so I'm excited to try it.
Fred, that made me so angry. That was the dumbest thing. Why did?
You're just jealous you didn't think of saying it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Hey Ashley, tomorrow call me and we'll talk about your D&D spells.
Okay. Are you putting me on the spot?
Yes. Yes. I can edit that part out if you want me to.
No, it's fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, and enjoy your Labor Day. Enjoy your rave in the middle of Arkansas.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have glow sticks on the dog's collars right now too.
I'm assuming the pacifier is just underneath the camera right now.
Yeah, it's hiding.
Okay, good.
All right. Somebody honking at you?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Jake's locking the car.
Oh, my
He
Okay.
came out. He came out to get apple chips earlier.
All right.
Oh,
All right, well, wish us happy 500th, please.
Happy 500. It's not a real 500th, but we won't have to talk about that.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh.
lost episodes.
Well,
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got.
do we have to count those?
All right.
This is
You're the
math
first.
up big time.
You're the person that broke the illusion just now, Ashley.
If they're real fans, they know.
I know. You're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
right.
a good point. We've talked about that incessantly, so yeah, it's a really good point.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the next time you come home.
A little over a week.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye, guys.
But,
Bye.
Bye.
all right, love you.
All right. She'll be 26 next month.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that's
no.
amazing.
Not next month. Like 10 days from now, she'll be 26.
God, she used to be a kid.
Yeah, I know. I was listening
Yeah.
to my 12-year-old and my 7-year-old on an old podcast,
Yeah,
and now
No,
they're
I get it.
21 and almost 26.
I get it, dude, man. 18 and 13, and voices have dropped, and kids in college, and jeez, I know.
And I have a dog here. She turned 5 years old July 3rd.
Yeah,
So
That's crazy.
is that an
Yeah.
official? Is that an actual birthday, or is that just like?
well, so that's what SPCA told me when I adopted her.
Okay.
So, and I've only had her 2 years. She
They
was
just
3 when I
drew
got
a
her.
month of the
Okay.
day out of the hat.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can only assume that maybe the previous owners. I mean, they had a specific date, so maybe the previous owners did know.
They
She
had-
had to be. She was surrendered.
They had a
the person
12-sided
couldn't pick her.
die and a 30-sided die, and they just rolled them.
Yeah, I feel like a terrible dog owner, and I am. But I have never known the actual birthday of any pet I've ever owned. So
Like I have either.
As long as you love them, you know, the only thing that I make sure NASA does is she gets a steak on her birthday. I make her steak.
Nobody gives me a steak on my birthday.
I know. Do you take your dog to Outback and go? I'll have one for me, and the lady will have she'll have a porterhouse. Thank you.
No, I do a pan fry at home, and as soon as it cools up, I chop it all up, throw it in her bowl. She chomps it up within a couple minutes, and then she goes into a food coma for about an hour.
Do you get her a bone in, or is that not a good idea?
No bone.
Okay.
Just
Okay. Because I'm still, to this day, I'm 52 years old. You think I know better by now, but I still not 100% sure. It's like, you know, you see dog bones all the time, but I keep hearing that you shouldn't like give a dog like a cooked bone because it can make it brittle, and you know, even if it's like a T-bone, you know, kind of thing. So I never know how to deal with that. So I'll like the very few times we have steak, I'll like cut off the fat and maybe a couple of tips or something. Just I'll spike her dinner, but I never give her the bones because I'm afraid of it splintering, and then we got a mess on our hands.
You know, you always hear no chicken bones and stuff like that. But
sure.
I mean, you know, dogs like wolves and stuff. They eat birds in the wild.
Oh yeah.
So they're eating bones. So I mean, I don't know.
Do y'all have beverages?
Yes, I do.
Like beverages.
Let's cheers ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to go around the table real quick? I'll start. Guys, I want to thank you so much for 500 episodes. It has been pretty crazy to think that we have done all of this, but I'm glad that we've gone on this journey together.
That is so much better said than I could. I have something I'd share with you if the technology allows. If you guys would like me to, I'll attempt and probably fail, but I will attempt to throw a 500th episode audio tweet at you guys.
Sure.
Let's try it.
If you're into it, okay. I'm going to see if this works. Hopefully it will, and if not, you know what, you're going to edit this out. Otherwise, oh, please tell me you're hearing this. Are you hearing this?
No, sir.
You're not hearing this? Oh man. Okay, I'm trying to share. Maybe it's a Zoom. Maybe I'm used to Zoom.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think sharing in Skype is video only. I think.
Oh, son of a gun! In Zoom, I can share audio. Okay. Well, poo-poos.
Hey, I'll
okay,
tell you
well,
what. Send it to
guys.
me, and I'll tack it on at the end.
Okay, it won't have the the spontaneity that I was originally hoping for, but that's okay. So hey guys, let's pretend like.
Can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh yeah. Okay. Stop sharing. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so guys, let's say that. Let's pretend that you've run the audio tweet and you guys were completely overwhelmed and maybe actually a little bit angered about it. And so with that, we can pick it up in 3, 2, 1. And so there you guys go.
Come on, man.
500 episodes for that.
That's what it comes down to.
This is we hit the over on me apologizing to the audience. So.
You've left it up to me to wrap this episode up with class and style.
I mean, I'd say I tried, but...
Hey, here's to 500.
500 boys.
Here's
500.
to 500 more.
Boom. I will do 500 more.
I love you guys. You're my brothers. I mean it. I love you guys very much, and I'm glad that Frank talked me into letting you join the cast.
Thank you, Frank.
You owe me one, Bill.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. Thank you all for listening to the 500th episode of Half Hour Wasted. We'll continue to do this. This will be available as an audio podcast first, and then eventually I'll get to editing the video together.
Nice.
Take us out, Frank.
And just everybody, just set yourself up. The 501st episode is going to be a real letdown compared to this one, so just prepare yourselves, okay? Yeah.
Big time.
You know, normally I would bring up the boilerplate, but that's going to require me to bring it up on my Google Docs, and that's going to take too long. So just with that said, thank you so much for being a part of our community, of being part of our family. We love all of you. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are never alone as long as we are in your ear holes.
Yeah.
Half Hour Wasted
to each other, everybody.
Half Hour Wasted out.
Later. Thank you.